seven-sided dice, Carpathian Adventure. I am Bayuk Osman Ghazi. Travel back 700 years to a fantasy Earth. The world is a gritty, dangerous place. The papacy is challenged by an anti-pope. The papal disbanded Templars recede into memory, and the Teutonic Order seems to be consuming magic, secularizing and growing in power. Two emperors battle within the Holy Roman Empire, and Hungary is at its height, but is being torn apart by a civil war. As they all fight amongst themselves, I expand rapidly and consume everything. The adventurers that call themselves the Champions of the Sun discovered that I am a vampire. Now they are trying to create a powerful weapon to destroy me. They will never succeed. While many have walked with these self-proclaimed champions, these are the present adventurers.
Only a city as grand, beautiful and powerful as Genoa could bear a man of my talent. Me? I am Naldo Renzi, treasure hunter, adventurer, master swordsman, and lover. In my journeys, I have learned of the adventures of the Champions of the Sun. They are just who I am looking for to assist me in the retrieval of the rare artifacts I seek, and heaven knows they could use my help in whatever they are up to.
I am Baldur, a Norseman, a soldier, and an Eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I am Kip Caelan, Ranger of the North, and I am lost. Hailing all the way from Garran, Scotland, I have faced great tragedy, losing all those dear to me. I am haunted by that fateful night, and what was taken from me. I face defeat at every turn on those, and when all my strength, resources, and allies, save for my trusted wolf Lycoa, was depleted, I stumbled upon the Champions of the Sun at the Battle of Sakut. I decided to ally myself with these seemingly capable and worthy adventurers to aid me in putting the lost to rest. It is what she would want, or so she seems to indicate.
I am Edric, and I am from England. I spent most of my youth in the Navy. Climbing the ranks, I was granted land and title. However, I did not fit in. A heretic to most. I fled, leaving my wife and children behind. In a city on mines, I met a group that changed my life forever. The Champions of the Sun. In time, perhaps they might help me reunite with my family.
I am Kroof. Abandoned by my mother, I was raised by wood elves. Shunned by other elves, I left the village. As I did, I can hear the voice of a mage I once met.
In filth and bowels of the earth, where gold is aplenty, you will find those that can reunite you with your family.
Discovering this party in the filthy sewers under Paris begs the question, are these the ones?
In these dark times, the dead rise and strike fear and feed on the living. I am Baron Andre Franz Hellwing II. I am dedicated to unlocking the forbidden secrets of life and death. Through science and God, I strive to make the dead stay dead. Many fear what they do not understand. The raw materials of the flesh.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect. And, more importantly, my trust.
If you meet one who claims to be a champion of the sun, tell me their whereabouts. Better yet, kill them on sight. I will reward you handsomely. Welcome to Seven Sided Eyes, Carpathian Adventure.
Oh, sorry about that. Going to black there, guys. Welcome, I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons and sometimes BS on the side. And we get carried away. Some of us are in the military, others are in construction, still others are retail managers, a few are in IT, we're parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one. We'd like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, Kick, Twitter X followers, and our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please follow on Twitch and Kick. Please like on YouTube and Facebook, and please subscribe on YouTube. If during the stream you follow on Twitch or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen right around there. Yep. To all of our subscribers and followers, thank you. Let's jump right in. Welcome back, Champions of the Sun. I wish you good times, great rolls, and happy adventuring. The question, of course, what happened last session? Mark, you kind of have a little bit of an out unless you watched the stream. I know you were
not watch the stream.
You were not here. You were not here.
You're put me on the spot.
So I'm going to put the three of you. Reiner was here, and he just...
He has the multiple question quiz afterwards.
Oh, great.
Yeah, pay attention.
Yeah.
So what did happen last
We
session?
were in Avignon. We were in the maze. We talked to... can't remember her name.
Melisande.
Yeah, Melisande. Got the dragon crystal. She just gave it to us because we did a pretty good job of fighting our way into the maze. We were escorted out of the maze. Had to fight the Swiss guard.
No,
or whoever.
no, it was the gargoyles.
The gargoyles.
We were attacked by the
yeah.
gargoyles. Something which I still can't figure out though. Tom never explained to me.
They are the defenders of the wall visit.
No. Oh, that's what it is.
That's what
there
it
was
was,
something,
yeah.
but the wizard.
He's on the wall. The gargoyles
Yeah,
are on the
yeah.
wall. They're his defenders.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's what I think. That's what I
He
think.
never, because they all even the guards were super.
Yeah, they were like
surprised. They
very,
couldn't
like-
understand what happened.
Yeah. But then
And they took the wall visit away.
And then they
Yeah.
realized everything was all cool until they realized he was dead.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
And
no
then
eye.
we were not ready to handle that. So we bamfed out of there and made our way to Constantinople. I don't know where the scroll Mattias had that.
Yeah.
We were in the dungeon, knocked out one of the guards that came with us. The other guard gave up. Baron went to feed on the
To town
unconscious
on him.
one, and then Edric got very upset at that. And
I mean, he did more than just
almost-
like go to feed on him.
He went to
fed
town.
on-
yeah,
he
fed on him a little bit.
a while.
Yeah,
A while.
yeah, and Edric was not happy. So a little bit of words there.
Consent was not given.
Yeah.
But the guard that was stationed above the area that we came in is letting us up. That's roughly where we're at.
No, right? Maddie's climbed the rope.
Yeah, Maddie's climbed up the ladder,
And the queen was there.
was she?
Yeah. And she
Alright,
was
right.
like, it's been
It's been a
it's
while.
been 7 years. My good night. And he was like, yes it has.
And we have to figure out how
That
to
was
get back to Avignon because we left the cart there
Yeah.
with all the gold.
Both carts.
That's
Both
over.
carts. The cart with the gold and the cart with the food.
Nobody
So
cares.
are we
about
in
the food.
I care
Istanbul or
about it.
Constantinople?
Listen, we've had that joke 8 years ago. Okay, we're not bringing it back.
It's a good one.
What joke?
Which joke?
If we're in Istanbul or Constantinople, because Istanbul was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul. Been a long time ago.
That's pretty much it.
Why did Constantinople think it works?
So we have a dragon crystal.
A couple scared guards.
Yep.
Terrified guards that have just witnessed a vampire.
Well, one witnessed that the other one was unconscious.
Yeah, and I told you.
Okay,
that
one
of them that
was
hold-
the
not to
victim,
worry,
one
yeah.
was the witness. Sorry.
Well, he was unconscious, so.
The one that witnessed, I told him not to worry. He's not going to get attacked.
Yeah, I feel
Just
so
gonna
sick
erase
about
this
that.
note right there.
Listen, because in reality,
You don't know.
not the metagame, Kroof would be like, dumbfounded. Like he doesn't know what's going on. He's never seen. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen this before?
I think this is the first time that we've seen the Baron do that.
Yeah. So I
First
would
time
be
I-
like, do it. Would through the game, his
He's fed on
vampirism
stuff
never
before,
came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in
I don't know that
Batman,
we've
seen it.
We didn't
Yeah,
know that.
but
he
it
did
did not see it. They
He
might not
fed
have
on the guy when we were
before
fighting
he
guys.
gets here,
Yeah.
before he gets here, we
Nobody
should
was
kill him.
like near him. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe nobody
Wooden
knows.
stake through the heart. Before
No,
he
but my
gets here.
question, I asked Tom, maybe you guys, as far as what I've noticed through the game that I've been here so far, his vampirism never came out.
Yes.
That, I don't think. Yeah, I don't.
We did not
it
know
has
he was a
come
vampire.
like it has
So
come
this
out
is
for
something that is like
metagaming,
we
know.
need to stake him.
He gave us a
He gave us what we need to kill.
what we need to do to kill him.
Yeah, I mean he's a vampire.
He
How
literally
is he no
told us,
different
if I
than
do this, you do this.
how is no different than Ghazi? Or the vampire we killed in the palace.
That's that. If, Yep. That's why I didn't want to kill Matthew de Clermont. Could have been an elf.
Okay, let me just kind of paint a little bit of a picture here of what is going on. You guys are down in the bottom of a pit, with the exception of you, Mattias. 60 feet down. You teleported from Avignon, France. You knew that it was taking you to Constantinople. You didn't know where. Mark's about to broke out into a show tune. I can see it on your face, Mark. You teleported down into this darkened space. You have the two guards with you, the two of the papal guards. One of them, his condition is, he's alive, but the other one is kind of hunkered down over near Kroof, kind of just standing off in the corner, minding his own business. Mattias, a rope ladder dropped down to you. You climbed up it. And there at the top, you met Irene de Montferrat. And she said to you, "It has been a long time." She said, "It has been 7 years. Please tell me, you brought help. And you told her you brought yourselves and the crystal, and you showed her the crystal. And you are standing there. What are you doing?
It may not be the reinforcements that you expected, but this may be enough to turn the tide.
Are your compatriots with you down below? Those
I
are in
believe so.
Jumnus, Shalom, Gundrick.
Some have left, others have joined.
Well,
But some have remained.
the guards toss down some additional ropes, and the ladder is there, and you can climb up. And all of you do, and the guards, the two papal
Well,
guards.
I don't know if
who-
we should climb up.
Oh, definitely.
We got to figure out what to do with Baron. We can't just have him. He's a vampire. We can't just have him roam around. We need to know what happened.
For now, I knock the Baron unconscious and we'll take care of it later when someone's sitting in that chair.
Okay.
Does he lose one of his teeth?
Yeah.
Oh.
And an eye. And an eye.
Oh, he's just got one pointy
One pointy thing.
I don't know if I can trust him right now.
With a clogged nostril.
I take him out, I throw him over my shoulder, and we'll climb out of
So
here.
difficult.
You somehow managed to get. It's kind of awkward with him over your shoulder, but you managed. All of you do manage to get up to the top. She sees you. Not worse for wear, but you obviously have just come from a battle. There's probably, except for maybe Mattias, there's probably some blood spattered upon you. Maybe goo from the blobbish creatures that you were fighting, and from the running through the plants as well, the sticky vines and red vines. And Mattias, your armor is of course clean as you want it to be, but you guys have clearly just left. Irene motions you forward and brings you slowly into a slightly better space. And she says, do you want to rest before you tell me your plan? I do want to hear it. I have been waiting a long time to hear it. And there are some faces that I don't recall seeing. I remember yourself, Baldur, and Kip. And Mattias, but the rest I don't recognize.
I am Naldo Renzi, my good lady. A pleasure to meet you.
And a pleasure as well.
We'll take care of this Gazi, don't you worry.
Let us get cleaned up and we can meet in the morning and discuss.
We almost did it once. He had to make a bargain to get away.
Crew flask in the back.
I want to hear what this bargain was that you let him get away for it.
We'll talk about that later after our rest.
All of their lives.
You could have just not said anything, you know.
Well, perhaps. I'm sure it would have come up eventually, Mattias. You know it would have.
Perhaps.
Yeah, it would have. It's better to rip the Band-Aid off right now.
No reason to bicker in front of the Queen. If you could point us somewhere that we could rest.
And bicker amongst ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
Another individual comes forward and escorts you out to a large suite, if you will, with several rooms off of it and a common area in the middle, and then leaves you. You see a table adorned with food and fruit and pitchers of wine and pitchers of water and other drinks. And the individual who escorted you in, not quite a servant, but also not quite a noble, and he says, if there's anything else, he just motions toward the door.
Thank you very much, my good man. This is very nice.
Do we know where the
Why did we not come here sooner? This is lovely.
tried to get us to come here weeks ago.
So we need the dragon crystal. What do you mean? It'd be useless to be here before that.
Do we know where the army is?
Where the what is?
The army.
Oh, we can ask if the queen received
Which
any
army? We have, like,
information
2.
on that tomorrow.
I think from our
I'm
understanding,
sure
we
she.
did get
I'm sure
message
she would know.
I think we got a message from Jonas a little while ago because he was leading the.
We did.
I think it was here. They were beset by Ghazi's forces.
Here.
Either here or
Right
here.
there.
I don't know which.
Yeah, I think it's right
just
here.
crossed the mountains or something.
Yeah.
No, all the
They
way
were
up
on
there.
the plains.
Right there, right?
All the way up there. I
That's
imagine
where they
it's
got
there.
beset? I thought they fought right here.
I
There's
think
the-
that's why it's dotted line though.
This is like the moons are attacking the fleur-de-lis.
Yeah.
Oh, Fleur-de-Lis.
I'm assuming that's fleur-de-lis.
So
We'll say yes.
you're looking, you pull out your map and you examine it, and you guys figure out, Mark, using your calibrated eyeball, you're down here in the Blackernay Palace in Constantinople. You've gathered information that you've heard, and you know that Ghazi has spread. He's taken all of Anatolia, and he's spread across the Bosphorus across from Constantinople and spread out through toward Greece and Serbia, and then across the Danube up into the Carpathian Plateau.
The shark. Remember that?
And is this where Jumnus said that he engaged and met
No.
forces?
Jumnus is down on an island, isn't he?
Jumnus said to you that he was trapped
They were holed up.
in the White Tower of Thessaloniki.
So that's our destination.
Ah,
The-
Saren Ray image, I see.
Well, we know
we're
that-
going through all those people today.
We know that
Well, we gotta get up
Ghazi's
there
in the
anyway.
red tent. He's in a big red tent.
But we don't know where the red tent is. We just know that it's...
No, but
It's advancing.
if we look at the battlefield, we
Advancing northeast somewhere.
This is just known as the Great White Tower?
Yes, it is.
All right.
We can assume, as we're all looking at this map, we can assume Ghazi is probably heading to the White Tower.
I think they were under siege.
Yeah.
Is what Jumnus had messaged me when we were
Well, he is going to
killing
And I would
vampires.
imagine Ghazi's forces are heading that way, as that's probably the most
Okay. If it's
direct
not-
conflict at the moment.
If it's not fallen already.
And it's
Which
probably-
we have no way of
Yeah,
knowing that.
I will.
it's
Kip's
going
gonna
to keep him from going
kind of step
that
away
way,
as
too.
everyone's talking over the war map, and I'm gonna see if I can find a guard or messenger or somebody,
the guy
of
that
the
let us
employee
in.
that just let us in. Maybe if he's still around.
I thought you were gonna pull out your Rolodex of stones.
Yeah. No, and I'm gonna ask to see if they can locate a servant by the name of Angel. He is my man.
Your manservant?
That's what they were called. My men. This should be where he is.
Do you think he knows he serves an elf?
He looks at you rather quizzically, and we'll look for him.
Thank you.
Do you remember what role he served when he was here?
He was my man.
My man.
Very well.
My man.
In the meantime, Krufa comes over to Boulder
He's
and
like your
taps him on the shoulder and says, when are you going to get to this skin thing?
Oh. Let me work on that tonight.
Okay.
I'll have a cure for you. Don't worry. about
Okay. Cure or?
it. Cure.
Cure.
It'll be a cure. Of that I have no doubt.
I don't know.
And I should mention we probably have tied the Baron up, right? Me and you have probably tied the Baron up to
Yes.
somewhere. He's unconscious currently, but when he wakes up,
I think we should stake him. He's a vampire.
we should let him speak his piece.
Okay.
Shouldn't just. I mean, he's traveled with us for quite a while now.
Lucky he didn't bite us.
Unfortunately, he is who he is, but he has helped us.
Okay.
Has he? Has he really?
Or is he just setting
think
himself
about
up for
it.
power play?
Has he really been on off?
So
No, that's a legitimate thing. He's
All
a
I know is I
vampire
left him
trying to
in
take
the
out-
employ of Irene, so I don't know.
Kruf takes out some
what he
holy
did.
water and drips on Bear and see what happens.
We'll let him speak his piece. For now, he sleeps. Not many people survive the end of my hammer.
Nobody comes back right away with anything regarding On Hill.
Sure.
And so, unless you do something, unless there's something you want to do, the night passes relatively uneventfully.
Every time someone takes even one sip from their glass, I'm just filling it right back up. Making sure we're all drinking.
Since we're fixing his coloring.
Working on that later.
Okay.
The food is good. The drink is good. They bring in more food.
Can we bathe?
There's places to bathe.
You don't do that.
But yeah, as the night goes on, I will pull out my alchemist kit and start
no.
working on a cure for him over here.
Okay.
I smell like flowers all the time.
I just touch you and cast prestidigitation. Now you perfectly.
I think. Listen, unless I'm pretty bad on health, unless
You gotta do it a lot.
you guys have
Square foot at
something
a
for
time.
me, we need to rest.
Yeah.
I need to rest because I don't know. Definitely can't go after Gazi or anything else because I'm in bad shape.
And
Unless
we
you
need-
guys
and
I'm
can
in
do
bad
it.
shape. I'm
And
tapped
we need more.
out.
We need more information before we move out anyway.
That's
We
what
need,
On Hill's
I
for.
need to hit the hay. I need to hit the bed.
All right.
You guys crash for the night. The next morning comes an individual. Some of you might have remembered. He comes in and you recognize him.
Better get to work.
We got to get to work on this potion.
He's an older gentleman with white hair, flowing white hair, a beard, and a mustache, and dressed in black robes. He's clearly an Orthodox cleric, and you remember him as Nicodeme of Peck. He was an advisor to Irene de Montferrat and to the Emperor. And he's like, good morning to you. I hope you rested well.
Very well. Very comfortable. Very
Yeah.
nice accommodations.
The Empress is excited, as I am too, to hear your plan.
The plan. Don't forget to bring the plan with you.
I have it right here.
Okay, good. We got it.
It's just a blank
Over-
page. What do we do?
Over breakfast?
If you wish, or after breakfast.
Lunch might be better.
Well,
7 days from now.
It sounds like you're procrastinating.
I have.
I think after breakfast we'll be fine.
Yeah,
After
let's have some breakfast.
Yeah.
Overruled.
We don't want to rush Your Majesty.
yes, and
That's very true. We don't want to be untoward to our host. After breakfast is fine.
very well. Very well. We're excited to hear what happened to Simonida as well. Boulder, Kip, Matthias. We heard that we believe she made it to Vloir all right. To Stefan de Militan, the king of Serbia. We heard that he met with an unfortunate demise. Very well. I'll leave you to whatever your machinations are, and we'll be back around lunchtime then.
Sounds fantastic.
He leaves.
Who's that lady he was talking about?
Semanita.
Who is that?
Is that Jonas' girl?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. She accompanied us for a while, and we left her in the employ, or not the employ, but the oversight of Irene's son, Stefan Militan. No. Yes. That was his name? Stefan. Was that the son's name?
It was Stefan Dekansky was one of the characters. Another.
We had to bring Irene's son to Stefan Militan in Valor.
Yes.
And we did. We got my notes. Get the kid adopted. So we did. We did that, and she stayed on, if I remember correctly, to oversee because he was a very. We replaced the king and him being the rulership there now as a boy.
Dimitrios Pelologos
Yes.
was the son that you took to Irene's son, along with Irene's daughter, Simonida, And, yes, and Stefan Dukansky was the guy you brought back and blinded. But anyway.
You blinded him?
Maybe.
Okay. So what are you guys doing? The morning.
All right, we need to like really plan out what is our plan, because there's two ways to approach this. One is we come up with a plan in like 5 minutes before we finish eating breakfast.
Okay.
Or two, we just tell her like it is, because things are going south very quickly, and I think she needs to be aware of reality. She's gonna be disappointed. She's gonna be upset.
What is reality?
Reality is Ghazi is wiping us out on the front. We need confirmation of this, but the last I had heard from Jumnus was that the army was being backed up and under siege in the White Tower. That was a fortnight ago, and things may have changed since then, so we need word from there. We have the Dragon Crystal, which is the semblance of our plan. So if we can rally with the army and figure out how to send in a strike force of said individuals.
You mean our French army?
I was thinking the champions of the
Probably
sun.
us.
Us. To go and strike at the heart, cut off the snake's head.
So
Ghazi.
Oh, okay.
Us,
All right.
so charge the spear, find Ghazi, kill Ghazi.
Correct.
Yep.
But bring in every ally, every
do
back
we kill
pocket.
each other?
If you know an ex-chef, like we bring them. We got everything. You know.
You might know
one. Maybe. Sebastian.
He's
and
good
then
with fish.
we
It's not chicken.
we see what kind of support Irene might be able to supply, or the lady might be able to supply.
Yeah, we need
and
every army.
we go see what the situation is at the tower, and either try to liberate the tower or use the tower as a distraction to infiltrate
And get
Ghazi. Without Ghazi,
Well, we gotta find where he is.
Carpathia is free.
Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
more or less.
So what's wrong with that plan? That's a good plan.
Okay.
See, I didn't even finish eating
I
yet.
totally just made that up.
Didn't even have to be after breakfast. Still doing breakfast.
Find
Not
Ghazi.
yet.
kill
Kip's like
Ghazi.
sliding army things on the table that mean absolutely nothing to him. Like, we move.
That is my. Give me back my croissant.
Matthias, do you have the
Is it
Hyla
a croissant or a
Galanza?
croissant?
I always do. I would not let it leave my side.
And you have
Not
the
when it is
crystal?
the very linchpin of everything we seek to accomplish.
The black crystal?
I think you left it on the own in the cart with the gold.
No, Baron does, I think.
I have the crystal.
So then you have the crystal.
Matthias, let me see the Hyla Galanza.
I think Baron has that.
Very well. I hand it over.
And I will take out the crystal, and we will make sure it is attached. I will slot the crystal into the Hyla Galanza and give it back to Matthias.
So what we will need to do is we will need to rest. And in the time that we
What
rest,
if
we
you
will
pull
need to
the trigger,
send...
like, accidentally?
They will all
don't
need
do
to be
that.
holding it.
Put the safety on. We
To
will need to
charge it.
send informants out to give us the information that we need about what is going on.
Well, I'm sure the Queen knows. I mean, it's under siege.
The Queen also thinks that Jumnus was with us, and Jumnus is holding the army at the White Tower, so the Queen's information is clearly limited.
I don't know. It looks like the whole area is kind of all army.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I just need to. We need eyes.
It's just like a stewy mess of arguments.
I will call upon my dragons.
The crystal does not just sit naturally into the staff. You remembered, and you can just say you've done it. You needed a glue to bind.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we need to
The
clean
crystal.
it up again.
Yes. So I'll pull out a sacrificial dagger.
Oh, we need to wait till the battle wakes up.
He has enough blood.
In fact, he's got the blood of 2 people. It'll probably make it even more
I will
powerful.
slice my hand.
There's also the random guard.
I will slice my hand and drip it onto the...
We'll make them all do it.
And hand the dagger over.
Why do you always do it on the palm? That's just like the most painful place to heal. Like, you know how long that
As you're saying with your burnt crisp of the hand.
takes to heal?
Do we need everybody, or does he need to participate? But he's out. Could you just cut his hand while he's out, right?
We'll take care of the bear. He's fine.
Should we surround him with garlic?
Salt? No, you're supposed to surround him with the salt. You didn't pay attention to the instructions he gave. When he gave the things together.
It was stab him in the heart. That's what I remember.
Then surround him with the salt in case he wakes up and tries to get away.
Hit him with holy water. Put a cross on his chest so he can't move.
He has a cross on his chest.
No.
That's his holy symbol.
He's trapped.
He's in an
proof?
anachronism.
Here's the potion. It should fix the skin color problem.
How do you know it's not going to make it worse?
I followed the instructions.
You followed the instructions last time.
Trust me.
You
Well,
followed the
last time you were
instructions last
trying
time.
to be
I mean,
inconspicuous.
Do you not trust me?
Definitely not. I
What
trusted
have I
you.
done? What have I done, Terry?
I trusted you last time, and look at me.
It worked, did it not? It did exactly what we wanted. They didn't listen to the plan, though.
Very yellow.
We had a whole plan, and they just went in and killed people. It
What-
should work.
Can I die?
99%, no. 100% chance you won't die. 99% chance it fixes it.
And what if it goes down the wrong pipe and he chokes? It's like more like
99.9% chance you won't die. As long as you can handle drinking it.
He might drop it, slip, fall. It cracks. Glass.
Okay, so I
Let's not worry him. Let's not worry him.
98% chance.
I'm gonna
Very depressing.
pour a nice glass of wine to wash it down.
I'm about a 73% chance it
drugs and
won't kill
alcohol.
you. There's a lot of scenarios
We're at
here.
97% now.
73% chance it won't kill you. There's a lot of different scenarios that could happen.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if being yellow is worse than whatever else might happen.
I mean, if it helps, the liquid is blue.
Wasn't it blue last time?
Yeah, maybe.
I will take my chance and I will open it. I'll smell it.
I will describe it. That
I will smell it.
It smells more foul than anything you've ever smelled.
Okay, I'm like, it's not good. It's not good.
What did you give him this time? This is
It
going
will
to be
work.
so funny.
It will work.
Do I have to drink the whole thing?
Yes.
Or can I take like a sip and it'll
Wait, do you want to make a bet on what color will be?
I don't know
wanna
what would
make a bet
happen
on
if you
whether
only
you
drink a
vomit
little.
What if I
You need to
can't?
drink
What
yeah,
if
we
it?
could do
I
that.
what if I can't hold it
Green?
down?
I bet you 5 gold each.
Figure out a way. You need to drink it.
Purple?
Yeah.
Okay, I will raise that. See that bet at 5.
James and Croof are both sweating, by the way.
We're gonna go green.
So I got my wine.
Blue and yellow.
I take it. Take a deep breath. Let it out and
Hold your nose.
I'm colorblind.
and just chug it real quick.
It is absolutely awful.
Okay. I
The worst thing you've ever done.
I wash it down with some wine.
Now-
Wine spilling on down my out my throat, down my neck.
And now you roll a d8. Just don't roll anything odd.
That's not a D8, that's a D10.
What'd you roll?
That's a D10.
No, that's a D8.
That's a D10.
Oh, D8. Okay. I rolled a 1.
Well, you
But
get
no,
to
it was
roll
a-
again.
it
It
was a
doesn't
D10.
count. It listens to what size.
Sorry. I was gonna be like 6.
All right. Your skin returns to normal, but
But I'm in hives.
Oh, Harry.
you have to
Super
roll.
hairy?
You have to roll a d4.
Just a D4.
Yeah.
It turns to normal for 1 hour.
No, no.
Super hairy.
4.
All right. Your voice is extremely high pitched for 4 hours.
For how long?
4 hours.
Are you serious? That's what it would have been if you had left it at the 1?
No, that's just what it
Oh.
looks like. It's blue.
Gotcha.
And then this is what it does.
Gotcha.
And then there also you get to roll for how bad it is, and it was, what was it? Unpalatable liquid is what I rolled.
What does that mean?
Just
Like,
You just
can't
can't
even-
like
can't
you're
even-
gagging.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Look, I fixed them.
Oh, solo mio.
Nicodeme of
I think I
Peck
fixed them.
comes back into the room and he says, I hope you're well rested. The Dom. Panistra, the Dom of the Hippodrome. Some of you might remember him as well.
Yes.
Will meet with us in one of the Empress's offices to outline the situation as we know it, and perhaps you know more information. And then we look forward to hearing your plan.
Yes. So here's the plan.
It's a great plan.
When we meet the queen, we ask her what her plan is.
That sounds like a really good one. That sounds like a better plan than my plan.
Right?
All right.
And we just bounce off of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready.
They take you down a long corridor with ornate archways. This is a spectacular palace with marbled floors and intricate pieces of glass, creating murals on the ceilings and walls. And they escort you into an equally ornate but very, very large room. And spread out on a table is a large version of the map. Irene de Montferrat is there. There's a couple soldiers, look like officers, military officers in the room, as well as some of you might remember Canistra, the Dame of the Hippodrome from way back when.
I have it named.
The Empress is standing off to the side. She says, again, welcome.
Give her a bow.
To
big deep bow.
The champions of the sun, those that we knew from 7 years ago, and those that are new to them as well. I hope the others,
Is that Brian?
if they fell in battle, died gloriously, as many of the Byzantine soldiers are now doing on the battlefields in front of Ghazi.
Only one died. Rest in peace.
Nicodeme of Peck stands forward.
Gundrick.
She knew him, right?
Yeah, but Gundrick and Morton.
Morton did die. 2.
Or no, Morton did die.
Morton
Katja
did.
died.
Yeah, Morton did.
Katja
die.
died.
Morton
yeah,
went
yeah,
home.
Never mind.
I don't know
Carter.
Morton.
No.
Carter.
I don't know Carter.
Borinth went home.
Yeah,
There were other champions that you have not met. That we did have some fall, but others parted ways. And Jumnus, whom you know, now leads our army.
Well,
One of the armies.
Nicodeme of Peck steps forward.
Oh, right, the French army.
Yeah, we have a French army. We have 2 armies. We have a Holy Army and a French army.
Yes.
Yes, your Jumnus Dawnflower. He did initially assault across the plain and begin to assault the Ottoman forces. He struck into the rear and wiped out a regiment of the Ottomans. But he was about to be completely surrounded. Somehow he got the word that he was about to be surrounded, and he managed to extricate his small army and retreat toward the White Tower of Thessaloniki. However, Ottoman forces continued to expand northward and westward, completely wiping out several Byzantine regiments while doing so. They've completely surrounded Thessaloniki's White Tower and have pressed further west, making deep inroads, and are now engaging Stefan de Militan's ancestors' armies, the Albanian armies in the plains of Serbia. At the same time, they've spread across the Danube, and they've encountered a French army, probably about 7,000 strong. It appeared to have been much larger.
It was much larger when it left here. They've lost almost
Heavy
a third.
casualties.
Almost a third.
A Hungarian regiment, at least a Hungarian regiment, is marching south to also engage them. The Ottomans were initially spreading out northeast, north, and west. It appears as though they've turned to face the French army. We believe the French outnumber them, but the Ottomans, as you well recall, have these white and red powders that they consume. And when they do so, it makes them quite a force to be reckoned with. They move incredibly fast. They can be very, very, very tenacious. It does wreak havoc on their bodies and their minds, but in the meantime, they fight like demons. In terms of your compatriot Jumnus, we have not heard from him for several months. For all we know, White Tower might have been lost. Ghazi himself has an immense red tent inside of a keep that moves with him. It's not a magical keep per se, but they break it down and move it with the army, staying ever behind it to give them guidance and control. Initially, that red tent could be seen from the Theodosian walls, but it has pressed north and east. We're hoping the Theodosian walls will hold, and we suspect that right now they're not trying to assault them, hence the reason he's pressing farther north and east, or rather north and west. As he does so, he's forcing every village, all of the villagers that he conquers, to give up their firstborn sons to join his army. So as he presses forward, his armies continue to swell. And also as he presses forward, slaves are sent back toward Sagut. We suspect to satiate his appetite. That is the current situation. We've lost at least 4 Byzantine regiments in the past few months. We have 2 holding the walls of Constantinople. We don't know how long they can hold. We have requests out to others to aid us.
What's this?
That is one, we believe, one of our remaining regiments. And they're pinned up there. The Ottomans control all of the waterways around Constantinople, from Cyprus up into the Black Sea. It is a dire situation. I know the Queen has been waiting a long time for your return. Yes, we have. And with that, we genuinely want to hear your plan.
Baron?
Well,
Apparently you're unconscious.
No, Baron's unconscious.
yes, you're knocked out. So we have in our possession, we've traveled great lengths to get this. We have a weapon capable of killing Ghazi in one blow. We need to get to him by any means necessary, and we can take him out. And we were hoping that the forces that we built along the way would help with that, but obviously they're very strained at this point.
So we also have a shard of the Holy Cross that we hope will keep Ghazi from rising
And now
again.
are either of these the army that I've been building, or
That's Jonas' army.
Jonas' Holy Army is
Yeah.
the one that I've been.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yes, and
Yeah.
people too.
So
Jumnus had an army of followers of Sarenrae, a pagan god. And while they fought valiantly, they were no match for the Ottomans. And they did retreat to Thessaloniki, to the White Tower.
So that's
And-
not our army.
Well, yeah, there is. I don't know which is your army. I mean, there's multiple armies out on the field. It's a very chaotic situation.
We kept sending we were sending everybody to
We were sending.
that's
I thought we were
Thessaloniki.
sending everyone to right outside of
Yeah,
Constantinople.
that's Thessaloniki, I think, is where we were
No,
sending
there
everybody.
were other forces gathered around Thessaloniki that are probably with Jumnus now, if he's still alive.
I mean, we told lots of people, like, hey, go there and help us out. Whether or not those people, like...
Well, when we started, we did send, there was a
Actually,
lot
yeah,
of people
yeah.
together that
There was, like, all those convicts that
we did
And
send the
we're like,
convicts.
hey, you
Yeah.
guys should go down there.
And we were
Like,
also funding.
You really think they made it down there?
we were also funding every town to build up troops and send them over.
Yep.
Well, we do thank you for that. Maybe it delayed them.
Yeah, it was enough to hold them off while we pursued this quest to try to figure a way to strike at the heart of the Ghazi army, Ghazi himself, and we had an opportunity to engage and encounter Ghazi in outside of Paris, and he had a demon in the guise of a red dragon with him, and we expended one of these crystals against that demon, which did destroy that demon and separated Ghazi from this potential powerful ally that he had, or he was a powerful ally. We faced him at one point in the past, and then we realized, maybe that was a good move or a bad move, but we needed to find another crystal, and that is what took us so long, my lady, is to find this other crystal, which we have successfully done, and at that point, we have taken. Thank you so much for your teleportation or scroll to power to bring us back. But things are dire. We need to move, and we need to move fast, or there will be more casualties, not only to the Byzantine army, but to the French army as well, the Hungarians, and the rest of Carpathia.
So what was the bargain that you struck? Naldo, is it?
Yes.
Naldo, you mentioned a bargain that you struck with Ghazi.
It wasn't me. I was one of the ones that was unconscious.
Unfortunately, it was me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
was kind of good too.
Way to throw you on the bus.
He basically came in. He teleported in from where he was. Mm-hmm. He attacked all of us, knocked our entire group unconscious. And
you are always underplaying our effort.
And with me on death's door, he offered to let us live if I give him back his amulet. And I had no choice. So I gave him the amulet.
It's just very close, though. It's very close.
Even if I could take him at that moment, it wouldn't have killed him. As we all know, the vampires would just come back. So I gave him the amulet to let this entire group of people here live, to hope to defeat him another day.
Defeat him again.
Yeah.
And in doing so, actually save the French army.
Yes.
As well. It wasn't just our lives. It was the French army.
Yes.
Well, maybe the French army and that deal will...
I do know how disastrous it is that he has the amulet again, though. I know that gives him quite a bit of power.
So, your plan is to attack Ghazi directly.
If we attack Ghazi directly, and we could strike him down, then we believe that can cut the head off the snake of the rest of the army, and it will fail at that point. The one concern that I have is that the crystal has been proven to be extremely powerful, and we do believe that it can render Ghazi or kill him outright. However, there is the thought that it might destroy his current form and force him back to, we believe, Sagut, I believe, is where we believe he is at, Sagut, where his vampiric...
Well, we think either that or it's with him.
Or it's with
him,
him, yeah.
In the
So we will need to, when we take him down, we will need to know where his corpse, or his slumbering form lies, and that is where we must strike him. And we do have another weapon that could potentially aid us in that, which is the cross.
The shard of the cross.
The shard of the cross of Christ, which we've also collected.
I mean, when you say the cross, I mean, it's kind of... I mean, what other cross is there?
I don't know. I'm an elf.
There's Chris.
We are in possession of quite a bit of rare artifacts.
When you touch the cross, does it make you jump?
As a point of fact, some of them need to be identified.
It's a sword.
We do need some identification. But
True. If you have anyone who could help us with that, we do have some items that we need identified.
She turns to Nicodeme of Peck, and Nicodeme, yes, we can probably do that. Time has been of the urgency for 7 years. When do you think you're going to strike at Ghazi, and what's your... do you have a plan, or...
6 days.
Well, what lies afield in front of the walls of the castle?
We will need...
Is there a teeming army outside the walls?
I'm sorry, you were about to say?
So we'll need about 6 days to prepare. If your scouts can get us a location on his red tent currently, that's where we're gonna go. That's where we're gonna head. And we will try to do it as discreetly as possible.
I might dare ask that.
Unless you want to fight through hundreds of miles of forces.
The power that you had provided us to return back to
We
Constantinople.
do anything discreetly.
Is there
We have to
such
learn new
power
skills.
that if you see the tent, that you might be able to get us to the tent or nearby?
Nicodemus Peck steps forward and he says, let me explain the current situation to you. Or better yet, follow me. Do you follow him?
Yeah, I love tours. Let's go.
And he takes you outside.
I follow right outside whatever salt ring you put.
Or we just tied you up.
Oh, great, even better.
We tied you
I'm
to
not
a-
going there.
I also
tied
put
you to a
garlic
bedpost.
cloves all around the salt.
I guess I'm not going. I'm tied
Everybody
up.
put their cross on top of you.
Yeah.
Just brush it off. But I'm tied up, so I can't even do that.
You can wiggle free.
I bathe like Ho in holy water, so every time you move, he shakes.
You're very wiggly.
He takes you through several corridors, and the ornate nature of where you're walking slowly folds into what is clearly fortress corridors. Stone becomes almost solid granite at certain points, where clearly you sense that you're not just walking through a palace corridor anymore, but you've entered into a fortress, and you eventually come to a spiral set of stairs that's very, very dark, and you make your way up the spiral set of stairs, and you find yourself on a parapet wall, a huge, stout wall, surprisingly deep, probably 15 to 20 feet deep, and probably 30 to 35 feet high, and massive in terms of length. It seems to run from one end of the peninsula all the way across to the other end of the peninsula. And Maddie, as you would know, you're standing atop the Theodosian walls. He points out into the distance, and out in the distance you can see trenches of Ottomans, and you can see in front of them trenches more like scouting trenches or communication trenches of the Byzantine army. And there's skirmishing going back and forth, but not a pitched battle. It's almost like it's settled into some type of trench warfare there in front of the walls. And you clearly remember from the map that the Byzantines had, the Ottomans had pressed west and north, just leaving a small force to block this area, if you will. He said, off in the distance, you used to be able to see the red tower of Ghazi, the red tent of Ghazi. It has since passed over a hill, a rise, and then disappeared beyond. These trenches of the Ottomans in front of us are rather porous. They change the challenge and password every day, but we do have spies in there. We can get you through those first lines. And then beyond that, you would be on your own. I don't think you would pass as Ottomans in your current garb. We have uniforms, but it might mean adjusting what you're wearing and so forth.
It's a shame. I really like this.
You can wear an officer's uniform.
I mean, at least until you get to wherever you're going.
Disguise is always helpful.
Yep. Yeah.
What if we were to take a ship up around the coast to come in from the side, coming from the east?
The Ottomans control all the water around Constantinople, out through Cyprus, probably all the way to Greece at this point. Yes, it would be very advantageous if we had access to naval resources. Constantinople is very isolated at this point. As you look out, you just see it's like a wasteland immediately beyond the walls. What clearly was once lush farmland. Beyond that is a rolling set of hills, and you suspect beyond that are the Ottoman forces. What are your questions? Irene is looking at you pensively, wondering.
I
Seems
will
doable.
come up to Kip and
Seems pretty doable.
and nudge him a little bit,
Why?
Fly?
like what you asked her.
I can't fly.
Maybe she can zoom us there. She never answered.
Because they weren't able to.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to get through the lines and then travel.
That was the option, was to go through.
You can't go around.
I'm curious how bad is the White Tower? Like we need to we should find out if the White Tower is even still, if there's still an army there, small army.
The White Tower is probably
gone.
3 days march from here.
Oh, okay.
Through
Maybe
the trenches?
2 if you press very
We'd have
hard.
to go through the trenches to get there?
Yeah.
Well, we can get you across the trenches, or we can give you a password,
Don't you have a stone
a challenge and
close?
password to get across the trenches.
Would that lead us to the White Tower?
Well, it would put you behind the immediate lines.
I have other stones.
We don't know the situation at the White Tower. If they're still in there, they're surrounded.
Our best
The alternative is to go around via either the Golden Horn or the Marmara.
I think best course of action is to head towards the White Tower, and I feel like
We may
if
or
we're
may
gonna
not
see
find the tent.
if we're gonna see his tent, it's gonna be on that route.
Well, I think that the tent might be up here now.
I mean, it could be.
We don't know.
I was thinking.
They've
I mean,
lost
if we have people still at the White Tower that have held out, and there potentially is a Byzantine regiment up here,
It's worth it's
then
worth
we
finding out.
can potentially have them come up and attack the northwestern Ghazi army from behind while they're fighting the French. About the time that the Hungarians come in, the other Byzantine regiment could start pushing down as well to distract them. They'd be surrounded.
Yeah, but even reinforcing the White Tower and breaking the siege around breaks the lines that have gone further in. Like,
Correct.
They become abandoned.
Yeah, it's just if we can get everybody to rally and push up, then we can surround the Ghazi army.
We can't leave a champion in a tower.
No.
Unattended.
And then while the army's distracted by fighting on all fronts, that might be our opportunity
The
to
only
strike.
problem is that they control the seaways.
Do you
They control
think?
the water all
Do
around?
you
We're
think?
walking.
Oh, we're walking.
I know, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying is
We have to
a-
figure out how to
a
get to the White
force-
Tower.
a force here can get on a boat here and sail around and reinforce.
Oh, of course, but
Oh, yeah.
if they
or
don't expect
reinforce
it.
these guys.
Yeah, but that takes time.
I really think that our best bet is to just go for Ghazi.
Did you ever get like thieves into their armies?
Into their armies?
Spies?
Yeah, you said you said no in
He's,
in the armies.
No, keep going.
In the armies that you sent out, the armies you sent out, you said you sent criminals there.
Oh yes.
So I'm assuming there's thieves among them, right?
Oh, if they went, yeah.
Okay.
We're
So
still in his sleeve.
I,
You can
yes,
communicate with them.
I have criminal contacts. I can connect with any criminal anywhere, anytime to get a message. Because I don't understand. You have all these massive plans, but how do you plan to execute them?
Well, that's what we're working on. is the
Yes,
execution.
I mean,
So
it's
if you,
not
if
like
you
we
want to
can-
see if there's
it's
any
not like
criminals,
we can have a radio call down there.
No.
Do you have stones? Stones? Do you have
So
stones?
Not for any of these.
How can you help?
So we can send criminal if you're saying there's criminals within the armies that you sent there, I can have ways to get messages to them. There's people on the take everywhere. We have plenty of gold, plenty of gems. Even though he left that whole big cart back there, we still have enough. We can get messages, and then they can maneuver how you want, and maybe we can get to where we gotta go.
I do believe.
I like that.
We.
Ah!
Yeah.
Whoa!
I do believe that
His instructions didn't work because he was alive!
He's alive!
I do.
The Empress, seeing the yellow man with suddenly no longer yellow,
I'm white.
Yeah. Normal.
no longer yellow man,
Normal. Just high-pitched Mickey Mouse.
I'm just high pitched. I'm white, but I'm high
and
pitched.
seeing the Baron, she takes just a slight
I'm white, but I'm
step back.
That's the quote. That's the quote.
I cannot explain any of this. I am very sorry, but I cannot. Even I do not understand what is wrong with this group sometimes.
And now that you're awake,
Nicodema
you have
Peck
some
steps
explaining
forward.
to do, Lucy.
We can certainly try to get a message to those forces, but you are tacticians as well. On some level, you know that for them to attack, it depletes resources faster and also takes larger numbers to successfully go on the offense. On the defense, while not ideal, they can effectively double their numbers by setting up strong defensive positions. If they go on the offensive, and we can try to coordinate that, you're talking about trying to coordinate at least 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 armies over hundreds of miles. We can certainly try, but
Yes, that's something that I'm noticing. You're all forgetting that you're talking about an offensive spanning the entirety of Thrace and Thessalonica.
I mean,
Why do you say it like that?
You going after
All
God.
those syllables. It has to be big.
I do believe
That's
that we let.
that's an
we
area
let-
the size of the entire Pannonian plain.
It sounds very large,
It's
Matthias.
just another name.
We
Just another
let
name I don't know.
we let Jomnus and his armies do what they are doing, and a small group of 7.
We don't know what they're doing. They haven't
We-
been heard from in months. We think they're.
we let them be to hold the line, and a group of 7 is much more likely to make it through unnoticed than
I don't know about that.
Well, we
full
definitely talked about just being a small strike force to go for Ghazi, but we needed the distraction.
a distraction.
So
Is
what
there not
happens
already
as
a
you're
distraction?
walking towards Ghazi and you encounter an army of 7,000?
That's the
it's
distraction.
Like you
That's
weren't-
where your charisma comes in.
You weren't willing to
Yes.
kill Louvier, but you're willing to
I
let
don't want to
Jumnus
sacrifice Jumnus.
die in the tower.
I don't want to
He's in a
sacrifice Jumnus.
defensible position.
It sounds like
the
his
troop numbers-
conditions are very dire.
Any siege is
If
dire.
he's even still alive.
This is
It is our duty as fellow
the
champions to go
defensive.
and
I do not think that the defensive position is what
see
will
what
win
his
this war.
condition is.
No,
I think
taking
that-
out Ghazi is what will win this war.
Correct. Which, in order to take out Ghazi, I think all resources must be sent on the front. Otherwise,
We don't.
We're going to be burning those resources.
We
It's-
don't
it's
even
just-
know if the tent is up here. It could be over here.
It could be. We don't know.
I mean, the most recent
Again,
reports that we
if
have
you
is
want
it's
me
not
to find out,
graphically that far
we
away.
can find out.
Please do.
I can find out what we got.
Please
okay.
do.
I'll
And
be,
how quickly can you find out?
We got a couple
Well,
of days.
then I have to ask Tom because in the rules,
I know. Just
it doesn't really tell you how long. It just says you can get messages back and forth over long distances, but it doesn't say if it's going to take a day or a week or a month.
Those are we have
Think
at
of
least 6
circumstances.
days.
Yeah,
need at
we
least
have
6.
6 days.
It's all circumstances.
Yeah.
So
Send-
if we can find out,
Send out your messages.
we
You
need
got
Okay.
6 days here.
we need to know where Ghazi is.
I have to go. I have
However,
to go for a walk then
if
and go
these
find some
messages,
people.
We need
if
to
these
know where the red
messages
tent
are
is.
interrupted and discovered, it could leave us
No, they could be
extremely
sent.
vulnerable.
Worth the risk.
It's okay. No. We can just use Steve's camp. It's okay.
And to think that Ghazi does not have anyone who can understand thieves' cant is
Not a single one. I've checked them all.
They're all. Well, you
If
tell.
there is risk.
You
All
tell.
I say,
you
there
tell
is
us, Fang One. Does he have ammo to do that or not?
I cannot understand your Smurf voice.
What is a
sorry.
Smurf?
Right?
The blue man.
I do not
Is he
understand.
not blue?
I still
No,
don't
I'm
know.
white.
Normal.
White
Wait,
with a high pitched
voice.
voice.
Clean my glasses.
I'm white with a high pitched voice.
I'm assuming his race.
He's messing with me in another way.
Just a push in this one.
You know, one way was not enough. It has to be a second.
No. Ultimately, we need to know where his tent is. We need to know where he is, and we need to go after him.
So I never claimed to be an alchemist, okay?
Listen,
I've just practiced on the
I
weekends.
will go and I will send out word, and I will have to see. We may get lucky and they get back in
What
time.
will you send? What is the message?
To find out if anybody knows where a big red tent is. We don't have to tell them who's in the tent or why it's in the tent.
I think everybody knows who's in the tent.
Where is the red tent?
Yeah, that's all we need to
That's
know.
all we need
Where
to
it is
know.
and where it's
And
going.
if these messages intercepted,
Then
can
they
return
intercept
to
it.
you?
Yeah, I mean, what does that matter?
It could be
so
information
pessimistic.
could be returned that is inaccurate.
You're worried
Well,
about stuff that doesn't even matter.
As of right now, we got bupkis.
Okay.
It's either
Never
this.
mind
You
it.
tell. I mean, listen.
We
you
need
got-
to know where the
I'm
red
okay.
tent is, and we need to know how fares the White Tower.
How what?
How the White Tower is going.
Okay.
That's the two things we need to know.
So okay, I'm gonna have to head out.
And if they
Can you
lie
tell-
to us, we have no way to know that. So,
Majesty.
no reason to worry about
I
it.
will
It's
turn
a
to the
reason.
queen,
That's all I
or
said.
I will
No
say,
reason to worry.
Majesty.
Bad
Does
information is better
anybody
than no
here would be
information.
able to tell me that
Correct.
Wrong information
if
can
there's any
be way more harmful. Than
bars where there's unsavory people?
So then what would you do?
Sometimes
What would you do with no
that.
information? What's your plan?
just
Well, I mean, as a
that's
thief,
the
I
way.
would probably be able to tell.
But there's ways we can
Like
find
multiple
the
Too much stuff going
It, she turns to you and says,
Master tacticians.
Obviously. I'm sure Nicodeme can help you out with
Thank
something
you,
like that.
Majesty.
Nicodeme looks at you like, why would you ask the queen such a thing? But
I don't know who.
he-
Yeah.
he-
I'm
he's
not.
like-
I'm just a thief. I'm not
he's
very
like,
savory.
let's- He plays with his beard a bit and he says, we'll talk afterward.
Okay. As soon as we're finished here, I can head out.
It's Scotch for
Or actually, I'll head out in 4 hours.
3.5 now.
I don't think I'll get much done like this.
I mean, I think we're pretty much done here. That's the plan, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can tell we thought about this for many months.
How about the whole identify thing?
Sounds very good,
Do we
right?
have- and I lean over to Kip because Kip knows her. I go, Kip, you think they have any good weapons? We might need good weapons.
Check with Nicodemus. He'll probably.
Good armor too.
Yeah,
Since you
Nicodemus
know
can
the
probably
queen,
help.
Maybe
set
she
that.
has some.
Well, I would ask
stuff.
Nicodemus then.
That's another perfect question you should ask the queen.
What kind of stuff you got?
Excuse me, Majesty.
What you got? What you got? What you got?
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
Tell me what you got.
Under that, in the secret compartment, behind the throne.
They turn to go. The Empress turns to go back in, accompanied by a couple guards. She re-enters the palace. Nicodeme of Peck remains with you with a couple guards up on top of the palisades, and he goes, "Yes, we can absolutely point you toward a tavern.
Thank
And
you.
we have alcohol here if you."
No, it's, I need to go and explore. Thank you very much.
Tom's trying to. Very well.
That movie.
And
Maybe?
Yeah, hell yeah.
He sounds like the psychic.
you guys go back in. He points out to you where an inn is, and you go to that inn by yourself.
Well, I'm gonna hold off. I need.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't think I'll be able to accomplish much with the in the state that I'm at.
Okay.
Understood.
Understood.
It would
Get
be.
your mojo back.
Huh?
Get your mojo back.
Yeah.
It's hard to use a charisma like this.
I don't know.
Okay. And you go back inside. They bring out food and they tell you there will be a dinner later if you wish to attend. And,
We'll be there.
a few hours pass.
Weapons? Before he leaves?
Oh, we'll talk then.
We'll handle it.
Do you need them now?
Maybe it's gonna take time for them to do magic stuff on them. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works.
They'll just give us weapons if we just need weapons.
Okay.
Yeah.
They won't be magic.
They won't be magic.
Oh no. Okay.
I'll prove it to you. Do you have any magic weapons?
What's magic?
Which? Like I want a sword like Naldo's
Any
got.
glowing things that are
Like
kinda
like
strange?
a good sword like Naldo that I can help.
Yes, this is a nice sword. It is a very
Yes,
nice sword.
very nice sword.
Yeah.
You know. When you're sleeping, it might disappear.
I mean, the
not me,
suspect,
not me,
the
not me.
suspect list is only so
Not
long.
me,
I think
not
I
me.
might have an idea of where it went. Baron.
Nicodeme turns towards you and says, I'm sure we have some, but
Don't ask, don't get.
I think the Empress is concealing her concern, if you will, that the last time we saw you was 7 years ago,
Fair enough.
and you left, and we anticipated a speedy return. Not that it was your fault by any stretch of the imagination, but it has been 7 years. I think
assure
that
you, we've been through quite a bit.
Yeah, during dinner, if this time, we'll tell you all about the tales. When after we dropped off her son, and then we went and fought Frederick Barbarossa.
We have time cards for it all.
Yeah, Frederick Barbarossa. We got trapped in the mountains.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
All about it at dinner.
We had to find the spirit destiny.
He turns while you're still talking,
Iceland,
and he walks out.
If you have any glowing weapons, we will take them.
My sword doesn't.
And you're back in the room by yourselves. If you want, a few hours have passed, and your voice can return to normal, or not.
Yes, I mean if it has.
You don't want to give him a potion to fix his voice?
You said it was. You said it was
Actually, he said it was 4 hours.
Somehow he just knew it was 4 hours.
Yeah, we don't technically know that. You just knew that.
Oh, okay. So after
It's
some
just,
time.
It's just after some time, it just went back to normal.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, and your voice returns to normal, and Nicodeme of Peck told you where to find an inn outside of the palace.
Yes, I will say, maybe either
I'm sorry.
Naldo or Balder maybe want to come with me just in case.
I'll be happy to join you.
Yeah, I'll come.
We'll see if I can find somebody. Maybe we send messages. Listen, I don't know how long it will take to get back, but we can always see. We take care of the right people. We'll get the right messages.
Grease the right palms.
Yes.
And maybe we find some glowing weapons on the way. Crossbow +7. You never know. But I'll come with you.
Did we discuss identifying objects?
Yes.
Oh, we should probably talk to this man first.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Tom.
You could probably untie him if he explains himself.
I kind of goofed.
Don't
And
tie-
do you
don't
have
tie.
my HP from
Stab him.
the end of last session? By any
Don't even
chance?
ask him a
Did
question.
you have that written down?
I can pull it up.
I'm sure I have mine.
Yeah, you usually post it.
Oh, okay.
At this
Oh,
rate, you
I
won't
didn't
need
even
it
think of
tonight.
that. I don't know
We're
why I
just
didn't
gonna
think
kill
of
you.
that. Sorry. I
Didn't
goofed
Aldo
when I
decide?
leveled up.
Don't worry about it.
Kind of screwed it up.
It doesn't really matter. We're just gonna stab you in the heart in a minute anyway. So.
You're about to die.
Naldo decided you must
So
die.
yeah, I agree. We should
Going
definitely.
to die.
I hope
If it hasn't worn, I don't know.
again.
Did it wear off?
Do you have
No,
more
wear
I
off.
don't know where my
statue?
resting place
What do you
is.
say?
It did.
Because we're gonna need Borin.
So
for this.
Balder, before we stake him, you want to talk to him? What's going on? Because this
Yeah,
is
I mean, what is going on with that?
Did you not follow my instructions? I
believe-
left you plain
I believe
instructions.
I specifically asked you when we met up originally if you were a vampire.
I am not vampire.
And you told me no.
Am I living or am I dead?
You mean in the swamp?
I have no idea at this
swampy
point.
Come check. Come check my
cemetery?
pulse.
We questioned you heavily.
But,
does my heart still beat?
But what
don't
happened
know.
with
Let's
the
find out.
what happened in the
I will
cellar?
check your pulse.
What happened?
I will
What
check.
happened in
Hang
the
on, hang on,
in the
hang on,
dungeon?
hang on. Continue. Sorry,
I will
can't.
check your pulse.
Okay, and there is a pulse. I am still living. I am not undead.
And what was,
I left clear instructions.
what was with feeding off of
Well, maybe like
a
Gazi,
person?
Walking Dead.
It is.
No, it just says Max.
It is the curse that I bear for being as close as I
vampire.
possibly can to the enemy that we face, without ever crossing the threshold of
he's a-
becoming such undead.
He's a thrall in service of another vampire.
It is my crutch to
So
bear.
why wouldn't you just tell us?
Are you a
I
thrall?
have been explaining to you this whole time. I said if I was to fall in battle, I left you specific instructions to follow.
He did?
To prevent me from harming anyone if I was to fall in battle.
That's true.
I must die before I would make transition to
And I mean,
vampire.
he doesn't have the medallion and he walks in the sun.
Oh, that's why the salt
True.
because he wasn't dead.
Perhaps you should listen to my instructions and what I try to teach you.
You gotta
When the
admit,
entire party is a little confused, I feel like maybe the instructions weren't exactly as clear as you
Or
think.
perhaps the entire party is too
There's
self-absorbed
nothing
and
in the-
obsessed with their own struggles.
That is a little defensive.
we are literally
I have been,
standing against all vampires.
I have
And
been.
you are a vampire.
And you
watched-
took
you
pokey
have watched me
teeth.
slay the vampire.
Nothing in your instructions said anything about you
Feeding.
feeding on another human being. That we just had an entire argument about slaying Matthew de Clermont because he feeds on other human beings, including that poor girl Mordu.
I have
What
edged-
makes you any different than the person who did what they did to Mordu?
Because I did not kill.
He was not
You
dead.
were about
was not
to.
dead
He's
either.
not
I
dead.
didn't
I'm
stop
pretty
you.
sure
She was not
You
dead
are-
either.
You do not know this.
That she
You
wasn't
do
dead.
not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mordu.
I
The
could
girl.
still hear
The one that I had
said.
sex with, the one that attacked me.
What about?
She was a thrall. She wasn't dead.
Whoa, now he had sex with us.
She was.
I don't-
She was transitioning.
She was transitioning.
Well, yeah.
So
How do
the
we know you're not
vampirism,
transitioning?
because the vampirism would have killed her. She would have
Have
died.
you been bit by a vampire?
She would have died,
She could have become
and
a
then she
vampire.
would have resurrected as a vampire.
So can I ask you a question? How did you become like this?
I have been on this earth for a very long time.
What does that mean?
I have studied. I have.
Just ignores it.
I'm trying to answer. I have practiced in many ways. This, what I use, is. It is a magical force as opposed to a undead curse that was born upon me. I have not been bitten by vampire. Many of my characteristics are similar, and I use that in order to combat the vampire, in order to enhance my own abilities to destroy them. I have been very clear.
Well, hold
if
on.
I
it's
was
answer.
to,
How did you
if
become
I
this
have been
way?
very clear as to if I was to fall in battle, if I was to have gone too far and transition
So-
to something different.
So what happens if you fall in battle? What are you worried about happening?
If I lose control, there are steps that I put in place to prevent any harm from being done.
What are the
I
steps?
wish to be put down. Specific
But
instructions.
what are you afraid that will happen?
I do not want to become vampire. I do not want to
So
ever
you
go
can-
that far.
So you are towing the line. You could become a vampire.
If he dies, he becomes a vampire.
As you could as well. You are doing battle with vampire. Do you not understand that? If you were to be bitten in battle, you would become vampire. Every one of us here. My fate is no different. I just am using the similar control and abilities of the vampire in order to defeat the vampire.
So if a vampire feeds on a human, and that human dies, it rises as a vampire.
This is correct, yes.
So if you feed on a human and that human dies, what happens to that human?
They do not become vampire. I am not bearing the curse of vampire.
You
But
can't
you
pass
said-
it on.
I cannot pass it. There is
But you
nothing
said
to
you
pass
become
on.
vampire if you die. How do you not have curse?
Perhaps I could be bitten by vampire. I do not know. I do not know how the
Oh,
magic
so if
works.
you just die, you're not a vampire.
No, I do not know.
Like if we kill you right now, you're not a vampire.
I do not know. I do not know if the magic that I use.
I mean, I'm inclined. I want to believe you.
Then strike me. Then strike me down.
Traveled with us for months
I take my coat, open my coat up, then strike me dead. Do it.
No, you've traveled with us for months. You've proven that you are on our side. You just have to understand that we're a little leery.
Why? What have I ever done to harm any of you?
I can still hear the slurping sounds from down in the pit. Very disturbing.
I have watched you all kill. I have watched you send bolts of fire and destroy multiple men that you have never met, that you did not know if they were good or evil or not. So do not put this crutch on my soul.
It's not about.
Delilah's not with us anymore.
This man was just trying to kill you moments before.
Yeah, before he was unconscious.
Have I
We're
not
coming back
proven
to that point?
But have I not proven my ability to control? I was near death. What's important is that we continue to fight. I needed the life force to continue. And this was a man who was evil, wicked. When I take in his life blood, I sense all of the evil deeds that these men do.
I don't question the man that you were feeding off of. He was against us anyway. But the way that you go about it was a little shocking. It was shocking.
This is the means. This is what we face. Unfortunately, this is the way that it is done.
So you believe you are in control. And what you did in that cellar was calculated.
I believe that I am in control. I did not ever feel as though I was out of control.
You don't think you slipped and that happened?
I do not think so.
You were very angry when I pulled you off.
It is not an easy thing to do. To take a man's blood and meld it with your own for your own life force. It is not a pleasant experience. There is much anger and much hate.
So you believe you are in control of it?
Yes, I do. Have you ever been in danger?
You do cut people's eyes out every
Well, that's why
I'll be honest with you. I have to disagree because when he pulled you off, the look in your eyes did not say control.
No.
When he pulled you off, the look in your eyes.
Would you like me to share with you what I was experiencing? Do you want to feel the anger and the hate that I had to absorb into my body? You would not be happy. You would not be a pleasant person. You would be angry. You would be in pain. And that's what this is.
Listen,
how could you expect me
we
to
all have a dark side. We all have a dark side, especially me.
Naldo Renzi has no dark side.
If he believes...
I have seen Naldo Renzi's soul.
If he believes he's in control,
go ahead
then I believe him.
Hold on, how long have you traveled with him, Kip and Boulder?
Months now.
Months, only months. Kip?
Same
Only
time.
months?
However long it's been.
Only months?
Sir,
Since
do you know
since Amsterdam.
what months
And he
can
honestly,
be?
even
How long have you been traveling with us?
Since your beloved
That's not what I'm.
since your
That's
beloved
not what I'm
friend,
asking. I'm
Zalman
asking
passed
that
away.
if they've been traveling with him for years, and I just don't want to get bit in the middle of the night.
I mean, at this,
And how do we know that? And by that same token, should we trust you less?
You shouldn't trust me.
listen,
But I'm not gonna bite you. I might steal from you, but I'm not gonna bite you.
Listen,
I'm being honest.
I think we have all, every one of us, whether months, weeks, or years, have proven our loyalty to this group. And if he feels like he's in control, which he says that he is, then I believe him.
in control.
Because he's done nothing. He has done nothing against this group other than feeding off of a guy who was attempting to kill us. And if he believes that he's in control, then I believe him. That's where I stand on it.
Do you think maybe next time you could just use a cup? I mean, it was so barbaric.
Do it in the closet.
Perhaps next time you shoot a man and put a bolt through his eye, maybe perhaps you could shoot him in the leg instead.
I probably could.
Oh, yeah.
Then next time, I will use a cup.
A lot of times they bleed out fast if you get them right in the right spot in the leg than the eye.
But that
anyway.
would hurt him.
Yeah.
And that would offend Kip.
That's all right.
I don't care
Get
about
him right
hurting.
in here, right in here. Bleed him out.
Yeah. Because when you hit, it's a
Okay.
big gusher whoosh, everywhere.
This,
It's great.
this is. Listen, I have to be honest. This is strange, but
I agree.
everything here is strange. Since I met you guys, the whole world is strange. It was much simpler when I knew nothing about this, and I just went about my business.
But
You mean
lived
when
in
you
a sewer.
when you showed up in the sewer, attempting to
that
steal
was
from
no
us?
place to live.
It
And we
was-
welcomed you.
It was
and now
a-
you question us.
Guys, this
Well,
is what Ghazi wants.
I'm not,
I was-
I'm not questioning everybody. Just
If
you.
I was to drain your lifeblood,
Whoa,
I would have done it.
whoa!
I would have done it
He's
at the
already-
time
he's
when you
already
were
deceiving.
weakest.
He's already-
Not
already discussing
now that
talking
we've
about
brought you up to
bleeding
more
out
strength.
members of the group.
Just listen out to what I'm saying, right?
no.
Tie him back up.
If this was
Knock him out.
never mind.
No, I mean, listen. I'm just saying. Listen, my life was simpler before I met you guys. That's all I'm saying. It was a much simpler life before I met you guys. This is a lot to take. I never knew there was so much evil and so much mayhem in the world. When I was just in my little world, just trying to steal and make ends make it by. This is a completely different world. This is completely different.
I think the word you're looking for is fun.
So
fun.
I can definitely vouch for
Making sure that I don't die every other day is not fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, I can definitely vouch for the fact that we've all had to make very questionable decisions. I mean, Matthias here has burned down several cities. All by himself. No one helped him do that. Not me.
Strictly.
I did not assist in that.
That was entirely within the war in Carpathia, and I had.
He was having bad day.
Yeah. You've all seen me.
Who was the guy who suggested we burn down the whole town with just the bar?
You've all seen me tear out the eyeballs of my victims and Georgie with his little golden spoon. God bless the monkey.
God bless the little monkey.
We've all done questionable things, but none of us have lost sight of the true goal. And if you tell me, without a question, that you have not lost sight of our goal, then we can carry on.
This is true. I speak only.
Then it is what it is. We all bleed towards the dark side to get this mission done.
What has Edric ever done?
What has not done?
Well, you're an elf.
You live in the gray.
You're an elf. You're just evil to
That's-
begin with.
Yeah.
What?
Abomination.
I don't know what you've done.
It's like
What have you done questionable?
Do I randomly stab people? No.
Yes.
Do I try to poison people's food? No.
Yes.
Do I do these things?
Oh,
No.
okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You've done questionable things. The chef was great. You.
I fix you. That's my job.
He's probably.
You know what his sin is?
He should probably be at the head of the spear from now on.
No, you know what his
because
sin
he
is?
might be the cleanest of us all.
Edric's sin is the fact that he follows us around.
Yeah, might
That's
be
the
true.
sin right there.
He heals us.
Yeah.
He's trying to save the
Guilty by association.
His sin is saving the sinners.
He's a pagan.
You keep this group
That's
of
the only
bastards
thing I
alive.
have going.
He's trying to save all our
because I
sinners.
don't believe in the same God as everyone else.
So you might
But
have burned
how-
in that baptism.
So about our plan.
I don't know.
I guess I will
I
cut your bindings. I will untie the bear.
Oh no, I already cut him with the boot knife that I have. You should have checked. You should have checked my boot knife. It's.
My boot
You should always check a man's boots. He always has money or a knife in there.
All right.
Listen.
That's 101 tie man up.
Regardless of whether we lean towards the dark side or the light, of what we determine to be good or evil, how we treat our enemy when they are defeated defines us more than how we treat them during combat.
We gut them, rip them open, and take their guts.
If they are dead, they are dead. That
And
is
wear
the
their
end.
skins.
their heart.
And wear their skin.
But if they are still alive, it is our duty to not allow them to die, to potentially become another enemy. If that man were dead, what if Ghazi were to cast a spell like yours, raising the dead, and it happens to be inside this city, and now we have enemies inside the city?
I tell you now, I will rip Ghazi apart, wear his skin, and dance across the battlefield and celebrate his death.
And you say me drinking blood is weird.
But if they are defeated yet alive, we do not want them to become another undead.
Weird and shocking are two different things.
That is not shocking?
That's the difference.
Ghazi wearing a man's flesh is not shocking to Kip? Oh, that's right, you elf.
Maybe put
Ghazi, it's expected.
They all wear human flesh around the village.
Wearing human flesh right now.
But you are not human. You are elf. You're wearing human
Marty's saying something, but we can't hear him because it's very low.
And I'm not sure that it's a good thing that I'm able to be so calm about saying that.
So, okay.
I don't even know what Manny's looks like underneath
I
that
will,
armor.
I will go with the group, fine. But so, if you want to go and see who we can find in the bars and see what we can do.
Let's do it. Yeah.
In the meantime, maybe Kip, you want to go see Depek, and maybe he can help you with some of the identification stuff.
I don't have anything to be identified, but I will stay back because I want to talk to the queen.
Okay. Are you staying back with the queen?
No, I'll go to the tavern.
Naldo and the queen.
Yeah, buddy.
I haven't seen a king.
By the way,
not seen a king.
if Naldo,
somebody with more noble blood.
You ask,
maybe if you get in friend with the queen, she might give you the special weapon.
You're talking about you?
Was that aimed at me, sir?
I don't think so.
No, it was aimed at me. My noble blood. I am a baron.
Yeah. Let's head out.
Oh yes, because
We're burning daylight.
You're the only baron in this party. Remind me, which of us is closer to being landed?
It is in my name. I do not know how more barren you could be.
I'm on the land right now. Am I landed?
You are my knight.
This land is my land.
This land
is you can't just call yourself a baron.
You call yourself a balder.
Maybe I'll be Lord Naldo.
That sounds so much better. I never thought of just adding something before.
Thank you. I am Baron Balder.
Lord Naldo.
That's too many beasts.
Baron Balder Borinth.
Sir Kroof.
Will be Count Kip Kalin.
Count Kip Kalin.
I like that.
Earl Edric.
With a K.
Earl Edric.
Earl Edric.
All right.
King Kroof.
We got so much alliteration going on here.
Nicodemus
King of the sewers.
walks in. He has a couple guards with him. They will accompany you wherever you want so that you can get back into the palace.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you need?
I guess he left with you.
Yeah, he's coming.
I have some.
Identify.
I have some items that
You had some
will need
things-
to be
No,
fixed.
identify.
He's coming.
Yes.
Oh, he's
We'll have someone who can do that tomorrow.
Sounds good.
We have to pull them off the front line to
Very
do
good.
so, though.
Very good.
You're affecting the war effort.
It shall be worth it
I hope so.
when we end this evil threat.
I would like to know what that sword does before I take it away from you and put it away for safekeeping.
Pretty good. I promise you, once,
You damage it.
I promise you, once Ghazi is slain, you may have it.
Have you identified the cross?
In fact, all of my belongings you may have.
The shard of the cross?
To know exactly what I might do.
That's a fair statement.
We should. And now though, once Ghazi is dead, you may have all of my belongings.
Well, you can keep
Gift
the
them to you.
keep the undies because
There will be no need.
We don't need those for
There
the
will be no
archives.
need. These are everlast.
With that, you head out?
Yes.
Okay, you head out. You quickly exit the Blackernay Palace. You find yourself in a square. It's a spectacular city, absolutely incredible city. What
This
clearly
is Constantinople, right? We're in.
what clearly would have been a large market city at that, had it not been for the fact that the city is under siege. at this juncture. You very quickly find yourself a tavern. You make your way into it, and what exactly? You're looking around, and
I look around. I mean, a criminal should know a criminal.
Yeah, you look around, and you see some people that, look like over in a corner. They might be somewhat kindred spirits, if you will. And you know that you have like a secret squirrel handshake
yes.
or something like that, with a buzzer in your palms or something that makes each other giggle, or as you slap each other on the butt or whatever you do,
Yes.
the butt pinch slap.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Extremely subtle.
Yes.
I'll stand back with the
So three
with the
fingers.
guards to keep the heat off of.
Yes. I will. I
Are
would.
we all going with him?
I did not go. I
No?
stayed.
Yeah, I thought it was
I'll stay with
I
you.
thought it was just.
Okay, I didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
but
who
you're-
did go with?
I didn't think it was clear.
I thought
As
it
far
was
as I know, it's just us
Naldo
three.
and Balder.
Okay.
Just in case things get rough.
Okay. So you guys are,
I'll stand behind Boulder.
I stay at Palace. I am already full.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that busy inside. You manage to find somebody. He says to you,
I go.
Dating. Yes.
I am Kroof. We give the secret handshake.
Yes. What are you trying to accomplish?
I need to get the word out. To get some word out, I need some information. I think there are people out there that can get it for me.
Okay.
I will slip him a diamond.
Okay. What is it? What information are you looking for?
I need to know where there's a red tent somewhere out there in the
You're talking of Ghazi's tent.
yes.
It used to be visible from the walls.
Now no more. I need to know where it is. How many miles or whatever it is, and which direction. And another thing I need to know is there's a white tower out in, I don't know, where's that?
Thessaloniki.
Yes,
Thessaloniki.
I know of it. Yes.
Yeah. Just want to know what's going on. Is there still army in there? Has it fallen? What's happening? And if I can get this information in haste, there'll be more of what I just gave you.
It's, to get to Thessaloniki and back, it's probably.
We need it in haste.
What's haste?
I need it now.
No, a week.
Now.
It's 3 days. It's 3 days away. We need it in a week. They
It doesn't
can
matter.
make it.
I need it. We need it now.
You gotta give him.
ASAP.
You gotta give him a little.
How much gold will it
Give
take?
him a little, bro.
Well, I just gave him a
resurrection
diamond.
spell, so.
I gave him a diamond.
I can give him more than that.
I know, but listen, I thought there'd be more.
Yeah.
A diamond's 100 gold. That's pretty significant.
It's going to. If you want
1,000 gold.
communication that.
Yeah, you left it back there.
If you want communication that quickly, it's going to take magic to get that information, and that's going to cost more.
How much?
I mean, you need it like tonight,
No, you have a couple of days.
a couple of days. 500 should do it.
500 gold?
Yeah,
Done.
and I will guarantee you most of that is going to pay for getting that information.
Done.
I was just pull out a big sack.
No, it's you're not even there.
Yeah. There he
I
is.
will give you half now.
Yeah.
I thought you were hiding behind me. What do you mean?
No, I said
We're over on the side.
I said if things go down,
Yeah.
we don't need
Yeah.
you big and
Yeah.
very intimidating to
Yeah,
be
big-
talking
big-
to people.
big armor
You know,
man.
we're not
Me
here
and-
to
me and
we're
him
not
are
here to
having a
bust
drink in
heads.
the background.
We're not here to bust heads. We're here to negotiate. You're here to bust a head if
This guy's
necessary.
giving away all my gold.
I have my own.
It's okay.
I'm spending my own on you suckers.
You can't take it with
No.
you.
I said I can give you half now, half when the information arrives.
What good is being
It's
bigger?
going to cost that much to get that information. It's not going into my pocket. We're going to have to get a mage to send some messages back and forth. It's
So-
not.
I understand.
To get
keep
it
that,
quickly.
Keep that diamond, and I put 5 more on the table. I said, but you see that? I point at Boulder. See that guy?
Enough said.
Thank you.
Very well.
I'll be back here. I'll be back here in 2 days.
Or we can find you. Where do we find you?
You can find me inside the palace. Just ask for proof. Or the travelers.
Very well. We'll get you the message.
I don't know. Can I ask you, I mean, I've been with the group just off metagame. Do we just go around telling everybody that we're the champions of the sun?
Hell yeah, we do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'm just asking. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a secret. I don't know if that's like a secret CIA
character,
thing.
Balder very much makes sure everyone knows we are.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know if that was like a secret society.
Oh, no. And if it's going to get us in trouble, we make sure to say it even that much sooner.
Yes.
So
I go.
It's gonna start a barroom fight. Yeah, we tell him.
So I go. You can ask for proof, or tell them at the gate to ask for the champions of the sun.
100 gold to the first man who can knock out Kroof.
Kruf's not hard. Kruf's like it's not much. That's why Kruf always stands behind
you, under the car.
Yes, under the car. Matthews,
I just miss boring.
Or behind Boulder with a wall wizard.
Yeah.
Extra protection.
Back with Kip. Who's with Kip in the palace?
I'd be with Kip.
So there's Kip, Edric,
Baron.
the Baron. Where's Mattias?
I'm guessing that
Mattias is with you. The four of you. What is it? What is it you're looking to do?
Well, I would like to just seek a quick audience with the Queen. Nothing serious. Just want to ask about the well-being of her son.
What is she doing?
Build relationships.
Date?
Yeah, moving in.
Movie? Coffee?
No, I want to keep the relationships with her good because she is not somebody to ire. We're being diplomatic right now. So I'm going to ask if I can get the audience with her. Just ask about her son, small talk kind of stuff. Gauge how upset she is with us. Because I can tell she seems upset. But
it takes, it's not immediate, but they escort you into, the four of you into a room to meet with her. And she's there. She seems to be listening to somebody kind of explain the battlefield situation to her, what the changes were in the past day. And after she gets that, she just nods at them, and there in front of you is a large table with a map on it, and you could see some things slightly changed on it, and she just kind of motions to you to have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
She says, yes, you wanted to see me.
Oh, yes. I feel as though we have let you down to some extent, and I wanted to address that and confront that and apologize for that. You have been so gracious to us in allowing us. I mean, your means of travel back here saved our lives, and I am grateful for that. And the time that has passed since we have departed was not expected. There were many challenges that we faced to gain this potentially powerful artifact to turn the tides, and I understand that many were lost in that delay. We have lost some as well, but I wanted to let you know that it is not lost on me. Those losses, your people's losses, and that we do genuinely wish to see this through to the best of our ability, whatever way the outcome falls.
As Empress and Regent for one of my other sons, who is now the Emperor, or will be the Emperor, after the passing of my husband shortly after you last left. I make a lot of deals. with a lot of adventurers, generals, contractors, all in the hopes that they pan out, that they are successful. When we made the deal with the Champions of the Sun, it was no different. We offered you a very generous reward. And if you fulfill that reward, you fulfill that contract, that reward will still be yours. So I'm not upset that it hasn't been fulfilled. There are many contracts that I've made with others that have not been fulfilled. But I'm hoping the culmination of enough of them are successful to save the Empire. I would be remiss if I did not point out that I have extended you personally a degree that most would not. I've looked past your true nature for the betterment of the Empire. And I would not hold that against you because I see an asset. And hopefully you remain an asset. So no, I have no ill will toward you. I do wish to see you successful because selfishly I wish to see the Empire successful.
Yes. Well, thank you. That is gracious, and I am not personally here for any reward. And I will say to you that, you outstretch your arm, and I will be your hand, and we will do what we can to see this through. It is our mission to take on and finish Ghazi, whether we made a deal or not. But that deal, it means something to me.
Well, I do appreciate that.
That is all.
I appreciate your time. Nicodeme of Pick walks into the room, sees you, is kind of surprised, but just continues to approach. Is there anything I can do for you, gentlemen?
We discussed that tomorrow you would identify some items for us.
Not
or
myself. I would have somebody come and do it, yes.
Do so, yes.
What, how many items are you talking about?
I have 2, possibly 3 items that would need to be identified.
Are any of them cursed, to the best of your knowledge?
To my knowledge, no.
Very well.
Not one bit. I have been carrying these, and they have had no effect on me personally.
Very well. Then tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Unless you guys do anything else?
One more
yes.
thing. So, right before we are about to turn on and leave, I turned back to, I'm sorry.
Ating.
And I said, here's another diamond for here's another gem for you. I said, whoever find us, they can get 7, maybe 9 people safely from here to Ghazi's tent once you find it. There'll be 10 more gems for that individual that can get us between 7 to 9 people safely to Ghazi and swiftly without running into anybody else. Whoever can get us there, there'll be 10 more. Here's one for you. There'll be 10 more behind that.
That's a tall order. I'll see what I can.
I understand. That's why we're paying.
It's a very
big
tall
order.
order.
I understand.
Very well. 2 days.
Thank you.
And he leaves you. The rest of you, do you all regather together, or?
We go drinking!
Any spare time Edric would have, he would go to the hospital and just help, because he knows that any battlefield is always lacking for medics, doctors, surgeons, and anything else. So he's going to help out any way he can.
I'll go with him.
Okay. And you quickly find the wall, like a makeshift hospital on the inside of the walls, near the walls themselves. And it is filled with wounded. Clearly, it's not like coming in droves. It seems to have trickled.
With the skirmishes, it's probably
but nothing.
Twosies.
Yeah.
So, but still.
You're there. And
Any spare time I have, I'd be there.
Okay. You're inside, as is the Baron, and helping out. And the evening comes, and more continue to trickle in. Some, once they're triaged, they're moved on and moved further into the city, into the complex of the fortress itself, to where it's a little bit safer away from the front, if you will. And Baron, what are you doing while you're there with him?
I'm going to be going, from patient to patient with him. I'm going to be going through.
Easy prey.
Going through, the ones that need some help and assisting and healing, and maybe a little bit more. The Baron is a little bit more forward with, deciding who will survive and who will not, right? Who is a lost cause and who is not, or who is savable, right? As he's done in his past, he would, determine the people that there was no helping, and he would take their life force and he would give it to others, and that was like some of the thing that he would do, and in doing so, he would, save people, and instead of prolonging the life of some that there was almost no hope for. I was hoping that you can have a little conversation with Edric at that point, if that's at all possible. Edric, have you spent much time in the care of the back lines of the battles? Have you been medic for many large wars in the past?
Not large wars. I was part of the Navy. I was leader of the group of men that would usually go boarding other ships or firing volleys of arrows. I was in charge of the ship's company of fighters. But unlike my good friend, who believed that a good leader should be a good fighter first, I believe that my men were better off by being helped. If I took care of them, they took care of me. So we had a ship surgeon for a little while, and he taught me some of what he knew. And from there, I just continued to help my men even after he had left our ship's company. So through various battles, I have lost a fair number of men, but I've also saved a fair number as well. So not necessarily in a hospital setting, but definitely taking care of wounded, triaging, and not just my own men, but also the enemy. When you take an enemy ship, the men on that ship are part of that prize. They're not there to just be thrown to the sea or put to death. They're part of that ship's prize, and also potential ransom or even allies later on, if they weren't originally purposefully set against you. If they were just men pressed into service, they become friends. That's why I have an issue, as such I did, when you started feeding on that man down in the cellar.
I've always been behind lines. I've never been on the front line of such wars. I have tremendous respect for those medics who are within the battle and the condition that they bring their troops and the wounded back behind the lines. And I know in the field you must make quick decision, and you try to help all that you can.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are behind the lines, the overwhelming number is staggering of how many dead and wounded come back. And it has always been
my job to make determination of who is worth saving and who is not. And this is something that weighs heavily upon my soul and the decisions that I must make. And perhaps I could learn from you in future, in the heat of battle, how to treat the wounded or the treated. But until this battle is completed, I cannot promise that I will not make decision that goes against what you believe. We must learn to look past this, and at some point in the future we will perhaps be able to reconcile our disagreements. But the important thing is that we both want the same thing. We want to rid the world of evil, and we want to help people.
I completely understand that, and it's one of those things where I very much understand that there is a certain amount of it that you have to do for yourself, and there's only so much that you can do in the heat of the moment or to turn against whatever nature that you may have. I just ask that you try and not do it needlessly. That's I can't ask you to be perfect. I can't control any of it. I can only ask that you try.
I promise there has never been any sort of needless action taken. It is a system of balances. We must take in order to give. And I would like, as we're talking, we're like, I'm assuming we're healing some people,
we're working on people, bandaging up.
You know,
I'm showing them some stuff with healers kits and how to bandage
so
properly.
the Baron puts his hands on one wounded individual and puts his hand on another. And I'm embellishing a lot here, Tom, but just bear with me. Puts his hand on one and puts his hand on another. One gravely wounded person, another person who is maybe could make it, maybe couldn't make it. And Edric will just kind of see the life force drain from one, and as their skin gets like grayer looking and paler looking, and then on the other, the life kind of starts to come back, and the color in their cheeks starts to rise again, and their skin starts to look healthier, you know, and it is balance, Edric. This man would die. There is no saving him. But this one can be saved.
No, the triage I do understand, and taking time. Obviously, you see how many there are here. I can't fix them all. I fix the ones that can be fixed.
Do you know which one of these faces I will remember forever? If you had to guess, for the man that you know me to be, which one of these faces will I remember for eternity?
The one that you saved.
And that is not true. I will remember the one who I just take the life force from.
And we are far more alike than I care to admit before.
And then I'll take my hands off and let us go. We have more to do. And we'll working our way down the line.
And you continue to work through it. Several of the local medics approach you and speak to you in Hellenic, and it doesn't mean anything unless you happen to speak it. And they seem to be clearly impressed with your medical skill, and they appreciate your help. The rest of you return to the inn, or what do you do?
Except when I gave you the note. I mean, you know, that's just minor stuff.
Okay. You managed to find someplace, cost you a gold, and you managed to find 20 without any problem at all. It takes you a little searching. The rest of you, who are Kip, do you return to your quarters or what have you?
Yeah, Kip will return to his quarters and, or I guess go to quarters for the first time maybe at this point, he will lay out his pack on the bed, and he will say, well, it didn't work last time, he says to Laikoa, but maybe now we have a little more time. We can be a little bit more prepared. And he's going to start pulling out some rocks from his pouch. And the first one's going to be a green rock, and he's going to reach into it and say,
hello?
Who's this?
Breaker 1,
Who this?
My
Who
lord,
this?
New Rock.
New Rock. Who this?
my lord Draco Persini.
Oh.
This is Kip Kalen. I hope that you have received the gifts of the green dragon beer that I sent you. And we last spoke that we were facing Ghazi's forces in Paris with the red dragon. But we discovered you were right, of course. We were so naive it was not a red dragon, but there is no such thing as red dragons. But instead it was a demon posing as a dragon, giving your species a bad name. But we are now in Constantinople, and we are about to engage in 6 days' time the Ottomans and Bayezid Ghazi himself. If this land means anything to you, we could really use your aid in battle.
There's a slight pause, and then you hear a voice back.
Well, you seem to constantly be in dire straits there, Kip Kalen. And what would you have of me now? And how would this idea of help from the likes of me manifest itself?
I'll reply back. Well, you're a magnificent and wonderful being on this earth, and you share this earth with us, and the power that you have is uncomparable in all my travels of all my dire straits.
Okay, that's the flattery.
It may seem flattery, but it is true. And an army, seeing your presence on the battlefield, it could be, just even your presence could be felt, let alone the destruction you might be able to bring to turn the tide of this battle and save this land with us.
You're speaking of saving the Byzantines.
I am speaking of saving the land.
Turn the tide of battle. I believe the tide has already turned. Where do you think it can turn the other way?
We intend to take on Ghazi directly. So any distraction or frontal assault. On the left.
Lift.
What?
Take us and drop us off.
Oh,
Lift.
yeah.
Transportation.
Yeah. Any aid that you can provide there to allow us to get to Ghazi safely, that would be uncalculable.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can I assist? Can I assist so bad?
You're not there.
I know. I'm
You
just.
should have given me the stone.
God.
I can persuade him.
This is where these are gonna go.
Hey.
Nope. Do it again.
I got it. Come on, let go.
Oh, it's just getting hot.
Oh my God.
15.
Guys digging in deep.
That's a 15.
I called it.
I think it's
Called it.
This could be.
No, I disagree. Too early for that.
The Byzantines are scattered across multiple locations. I know the French are out there, the Carpathians, the Albanians. I'm sure there will be others. But they're scattered to the winds. Pick a point, and I will help one of them. Let me know by tomorrow. It's going to take me a couple days to get to that area anyway.
I am grateful. I will reach out to you tomorrow. I will set that stone aside.
I think we're gonna be all
What time
night.
is it?
What time is it?
Are we playing till 11 tonight? We got Mark. We got Mark.
I will repeat
Rolodex of
the
stone.
conversation to the black dragon Draconis.
Well, where's my tower, Kip Kalen?
I am working with...
You're lucky I spared your life before.
And we followed through, destroying the demonic red dragon.
Yes, you did. There's a white tower. There's a very expensive
There's a white tower.
way to get rid of a demon.
Yes. I have a proposal for you. In Constantinople, outside of Constantinople, in Thessaloniki, there is a white tower.
Yes.
Pristine, pre-built, current, old, that you might find comforting. We have an army there that is under siege. I am in the graces of the Queen Irene and will beseech on your behalf ownership of this tower should you help us free it.
And you have the authority to do so.
I will receive the authority before I ever asked this of you. However, I figured if this was amenable, then I would go for this. I would ask on your behalf.
Persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion.
Just say
Let's go, Mark. Let's go, Mark.
Here we go.
This is so bad tonight. Oh, 17.
Nice. Okay.
We'll take that. Thank you.
We won't have any more left fighting Gazi. You can keep yourself.
He's got a stack of them things.
I got 2 more stones, but only 1 more after this. But I'm gonna use it.
Use them both.
This is like you collect stuff all campaign
Yeah.
and you use it only at the end, if it ever. Yeah.
Use them both.
The other one's pointless.
I know you left Paris very, very wealthy.
You're welcome.
Avignon.
I cannot imagine that tower completely suits my needs.
You want your black tower in Amsterdam?
I want 100,000 gold and the tower.
What are you gonna get? You only have like 800,000 back.
Would Kip know that we have that amount? Do we have that amount?
You just say deal. You don't question it.
We had a whole sewer full of gold.
Yeah. Is it still? Is it still there?
Galela and her criminal, non-criminal
A
organization.
battlefield of
is-
eyes to pick.
We have access.
So what else? What do you mean by?
Never mind.
Every single dead.
Should I survive, we have a deal.
Should you survive?
In order to pay you, I must survive to give you the gold.
I'll ponder it for a day.
I will reach back out if I can figure another way to give you assurances.
Yes, think of that.
Thank you.
Kid's a baller.
1 more stone. This one's a shot in the dark here, guys. I will reach out to. I gotta get back to my inventory.
Our drug lord?
Aladdin Pasha.
Yes.
No, not Aladdin Pasha. Aladdin.
Farak
Kushatsma.
Get us some red powder, bro.
Exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Kip is my hero.
Kushatsma. This is Kip Kalen. We have reached Constantinople and are in the. Oh, he knows who I am. And we are in the courtship of the Lady Irene. We have heard that your messaging to Jumnus has indeed temporarily saved them. I have a question for you about your red powder that we have distributed for you throughout Paris.
Kip Gerlin, it has been a while. What's your question?
If I recall, last we spoke, you were no longer working for
Ghazi, but he is still using the powder that you have been in charge of. And how quickly might I be able to procure, if possible, some powder to maybe help turn the tides from the Byzantines to use?
You would want my red powder for the Byzantines?
Yes.
Do you know what it does to them?
I have seen the effects. But it is either those that consume the powder to fight for their homes and their lands and play on more of an even playing field, or die to the slaughter and become part of Ghazi's army and use the powder anyway.
Set up some lines.
You know, that's how you get them hooked. A little bit. That's my red
This
powder
is,
now.
as I'm sure you can appreciate, a potential way of fighting fire with fire.
Oh, it's red too.
Vampire with vampire. I did not see this.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Do you have a stone for Argrad?
Don't. I have a stone for the Melisande, but that's pointless because we just left her.
What you doing? What's up, girl?
The fake Pope is here. Come down. Attack.
I am no longer in the employ of anyone, Kep. I am a subcontractor. I
entrepreneur.
sell to those who buy.
And I am willing to buy.
And Ghazi pays up front and pays well. I would be very surprised that you've discussed using the red powder with the Byzantines. But if you have, very well. I will gladly sell it to those who pay in cash. But you would probably want something different, which of course I have other concoctions. Some that are not as strong in their effect, but they don't have the after effects of the red powder.
That would be fair as well, and probably better for the Byzantines.
How much are you looking to buy?
It would probably have to be a decent sized quantity for at least 2 to 3 regiments worth.
So you're talking about 1 dose per man or more?
More. I don't think 1 will be enough for this.
2?
2 sounds.
So let's just take an average 5,000 doses.
Sounds right.
That's not something you just turn over overnight.
I understand. I don't know the logistics, which is why I bow to you in that regard, and getting it to me will likely not be easy as well. But if there is a way, that is what I'd like to seek.
I'm guessing that where would it be delivered to, first of all?
Can you get it to Constantinople?
You've just made it more complicated.
Or can you get it to the French army on the other side of the Danube? Danube?
North of the Danube.
Yeah, north.
That would probably be easier. So
Maybe
5.
we deliver it to the Frenchmen.
I'm sorry?
Maybe we deliver it to the Frenchmen instead of the Byzantines. And the Hungarians.
And payment? How will you make payment?
How much is the payment? And I will make arrangements to get to you.
It will be cheaper to get to the French if they're north of the Danube than it will be to get to Constantinople.
We'll go that
And
route.
you want 5,000 doses? You're probably looking at
1 million.
200,000
There's a pause, as you can clearly gather. He's trying to
Do some math.
do some quick math in his head.
1 million.
He's got his abacus out.
He's like, oh, where was I? To start over again.
Just hear the abacus through the stone.
Click, 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 click. This is
We do have a relationship, so he's got to go one click this way.
It would normally be somewhere between 1,500,000 and 2 million gold. But I could do it for 1.25 million.
I owe you.
And you'd have to pay up front.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's insanity. That would make him more rich than anyone in this entire country. To deliver a message.
That's 5,000 vials of a potion called powder called Blau. And it's consumed through the nose.
Is there like a Good Samaritan discount?
The user feels very strong and flexible for upwards of 6-ish hours.
But the side effects after are not as strong as the red.
They're not as strong, no. After, the user will feel very strong and very flexible for the duration. Afterwards, the user will be weak and lethargic, for probably anywhere from half a day to a day. There is a possibility of addiction, but
That's
it's
okay.
not as addictive as the red powder.
Yeah. They will only have what I can afford. If you could please
1.2 million.
prepare for this, but the quantity and the funding I will have to see how to make arrangements. That is more than I bargained for, but I understand. It's fair. I will have to speak to the lady and see what I can.
Is that the going rate for drugs?
What I can get.
No.
Give me a day.
Is that what they're getting for Blau in Scotland?
It's good hearing from you.
It is.
There's a lot of it going around there.
Rather enjoy our relationship, because that's more.
Okay. Any other stones?
Can I get a
I mean, it seems like he's making out in this relationship more than we are.
1.3
well,
million.
I'm guessing you're going to bring it up with the rest of the team, so we can talk about it.
I have to, because I don't.
Yeah.
I have like
So
1,000
we'll
gold,
talk
guys.
about it then.
Can
I don't even know.
Kroof like pretend that we have 1.3 million?
I don't think we need it.
We're gonna,
I don't think we need it.
We're not going to survive anyway, so whatever. But he
No,
wants
but
it
I
up
mean-
front.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, I know, but
Are you guys all back together again?
I'm there. I
yeah,
mean-
we can get back together.
Okay,
I
so
can
you're
leave the
all
room and
back
down.
together.
Yeah. I will relay.
Who were you talking
we
to
were all,
in that?
I will relay, you will relay.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Where do you think we're getting 1.3 million gold?
Well, regardless,
1.2.
regardless,
Excuse me,
the purpose is not to defeat the army. It is to postpone and distract until we can destroy Gaza.
That's correct.
So I do not think it necessary to perhaps provide the entire army with such powerful medicine when
It would be
that is
fine.
it is not as our point to destroy the army. It is to cut off the head of the snake.
Can
not-
we steal this powder from it?
From Ghazi or from the other guy?
From the
No.
guy he was talking
But I
I'm
will.
sure he's far
to.
away.
We agree with the deal. He brings the stuff, you steal it. He gets no money.
5,000. It's not. I'm sure this is like a truckload of stuff.
Yeah, I
This
thought
is
you
not
have
like,
friends in everywhere.
I have friends in high places.
There you go. Low places. You can just
figured
borrow
that I
all
would.
his gear and we give him no money.
I would bring this up to.
We can kill him. Get this up and kill him.
I can't keep track of the names.
I mean, you know. Kip's good at that, and so is Naldo.
To Nicodeme.
I think a bunch of drugged out soldiers would be the way to go.
See if he is. I mean,
Sure,
this
I
is
just don't-
Constantinople's
I
coffers
just
that
do
we
not
have
think
to
that
tap into.
I do not think that this is the. I think this would be nice if we could afford such a thing, but
sure.
I think the conversation with the dragons is most important. I think that is most valuable, and this is extra, but it is a lot. It is. I do not believe it to be necessary because we do not plan to defeat the army. We plan to defeat Ghazi.
I do not believe the Empress will use the kingdom's gold to fund drugs for her. Only she does not strike me as that type of woman.
I will speak to Nicodeme and see what he thinks. It isn't just an option on the table.
Can I make a note about that?
Hmm.
He's not the Empress.
I understand, but he would be the one to take it to her.
I don't think that's going to matter. But good luck with that.
You think I should go straight to the Empress?
I don't think it's going to matter. But go ahead.
But maybe you should come with me.
I enjoy a good laugh.
He's been pretty convincing before.
You might be a little bit more convincing than I can be.
If you want company, I will gladly wallow in your squalor with you.
Okay. But
You got this.
But on the flip side, Baldur, can you do the 100,000 for Draconis?
Yes.
Okay.
100,000?
Do you have 100,000 with you?
I imagine I'm carrying it.
That's a lot of weight.
How much gold you got?
We can. I can do 40, and we can tell him he gets the rest later.
So
I don't have 100,000.
We just a heads up. Each one of us is carrying 10.
10,000.
I gave each one of us 100 gold pieces. 100. You guys, I wrote down. When we climbing out of the sewer, I made a baggie for everybody inside, and I rolled. It was 100 gems. If I'm correct,
So
they're
then,
100
yeah.
each.
If we
so it's
pool-
10,000 each.
If we pull
that's
everything
like
together,
we're maxing ourselves out though.
If we pull everything together and go broke, we can give him his 100.
That's not good.
I mean, we still
what
have.
does he want this
we
100
still
for?
have
It's
a
only
sewer
but it's
full
only
of
for
gold
No,
back
the
in
deal
the
wasn't
past.
up front. The deal was after. The deal was you had to survive to
Oh,
pay
for the
him.
dragon, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So the
but-
deal is after.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
the,
there's
first
a
of
lot
all,
of eyes in the battlefield that we can plug.
no,
I owe
but
you. I owe you.
you guarantee him the money,
Yeah.
no matter who, even if he survive or not.
Yeah, I mean,
the only question
no,
is,
we
my
have-
question is,
The deal was
We have the money.
that Kip had to survive.
no.
The money.
So here's the deal.
It's in France.
You
Okay,
you
okay.
maybe you forgot. The deal was Kip told him if I survive, and he was not happy about that.
That's okay.
And Kip said, "I will see if I can make other arrangements," and he will. I think that will sway him. But the only thing is, what is it? Why do you want him to? The only thing he's doing is saving the White Tower. If there is any saving, that's it. Well, how is that a benefit to us? I'm saying in killing Ghazi.
Because there are champions in that tower.
Besides that.
Well, that's it.
Oh, okay, that's the only reason. It doesn't affect us in killing Ghazi.
And I mean, there's bad guys around the tower. That
I mean, here's the
go
thing,
help kill.
guys. Like, we are fighting a war. I know what our intent is, but there is also a war going on, and we are trying to win the war. And yes, the easiest way is to kill Ghazi. But if we fail, there is still a war, and any aid that we can supply and strategy that we can supply, I think we should pursue.
Hearts and minds, fellas. Hearts and minds.
That's correct.
Right.
We go.
But
I was just
But-
asking.
you know,
Because if we don't make
They
it,
are doing
our money
their-
means nothing.
they are doing their job in the war,
Correct.
right? We have to do our job,
Correct.
and our job is to cut off the head of the snake, is to get to Ghazi,
1000%.
right? So we have to trust that they're going to do their job just as much as they are trusting that we do our job, right? So that may mean us not personally going to.
Oh, I didn't say I was going to ride on the back of the black dragon.
No. I'm just saying that
That would be
that means that
epic,
that may
but-
mean that like us personally
Cross
do
that
not go to the White Tower. That we
correct.
have to make a beeline and figure out a way to get right.
But
to Ghazi.
again, if we can, while we're
Yeah.
trying to get to Ghazi, if we could free the White Tower,
I
that
would- yes.
alone can
Agreed.
turn the tide from behind us. Because we are not walking into a red tent
Knowing
and
that
it's
we
just us
sent-
and Ghazi. There will be an army surrounding us that we will need to fend off.
I would feel much better going after Ghazi, knowing we sent a dragon to liberate the tower.
Yes, I agree. I 100% agree.
And it could
totally
shift
agree.
things. You send a dragon at a tower, you send another dragon into the middle of the battlefield. Where's Ghazi going? And that could
Ghazi doesn't have any
Where's
dragons
Ghazi's
anymore.
dragon?
He doesn't have any
He doesn't
anymore.
have it.
Peace out, demon.
If only I was around to get a white stone. Anyway, that's the thoughts. So tomorrow I will inform.
You weren't in the Alps for the white dragon.
I wasn't. That's when I stopped.
Call the black.
I was stuck in the town.
Call the black dragon now. Tell him we're good to go.
You missed it. He sung show tunes and stuff.
tomorrow.
It was so good.
See you tomorrow.
Call him up.
Yeah, tomorrow. I'll give him tomorrow.
Shaking the rock. Shaking the rock. Call
Wanna
him
go
up.
to
Kim.
Sure, let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Naldo and I will go speak. It's Nicodeme, right? Nicodeme.
Nicodeme of Peck, yes.
Nicodeme of Peck. Yeah.
Nick.
You find him in
What's up, Nick?
the chambers. Guards are accompanying you. I mean, they're not like corralling you, but just making sure that you just don't meander off. They trust you, but
Sure.
you know, you're not just going to go wandering
Trust
off
me,
wherever you want in the palace. So they accompany you to the large planning room that you've been to multiple times already. Nicodeme is in there with several individuals. He's in a conversation with them, and he motions to you just one moment. Their conversation quickly wraps up, and someone hands him a scroll. And you hear some conversation going back and forth. And he looks rather quizzically at it. And he's like, okay. And then he turns to you and, what is it?
I was strategizing, and I wanted to make sure that I just threw everything out on the table for you to, for your consideration, whether you choose to accept or laugh in my face. You had mentioned this red powder that we have experienced many times before that Ghazi's army uses that makes his men more berserk than what the normal battlefield soldier should be. And I may have a way of procuring something, not identical, but something similar without the same down negative effects as the red powder that makes them go mad. Is that something that would even be considered to the Byzantine army?
He goes over and he sits down. And he goes, are we at this juncture? That is necessary?
I believe.
Who's there with you?
Naldo. I mean, if anybody else, I mean, it's certainly open.
You think we're at that point?
I believe we are, and I think to myself, if we don't do something to turn the tide, then it is not just Constantinople that'll be lost. The Byzantines, the French army will be crushed more than it already is. The Hungarians will face defeat, and then all of Carpathia becomes exposed. And this is much larger than us, but if there is a way that we can make our armies stronger enough to allow us to get to Ghazi, then I think that option should at least be considered. Not necessarily accepted. I would leave that to your mind. I bring it to you because this is not something that I'd be able to do alone. I do not have the funds, because it is expensive. And to bring it to even the Byzantines would be a problem. But the French and the Hungarians might be a key that I might be able to, if we could get word, we can supply them with this, that maybe they can push Ghazi's army back this way and we can crush them against the walls of Constantinople.
You see him lean forward and put his head in his hands, thinking of it.
At what point would it be okay? If now is not the time, then when is the time? Because when that time comes and you realize it, it is already gone.
Is Canastra there too, by chance? Did he?
Sure.
And I'll turn to him and be like, and you, Lord of the Arenas, you would know seeing as many gladiators fight as you have seen, what is it like when a gladiator is backed into a corner and he is losing his fight? To turn the tide of that battle, have you seen that? And what is that like?
There are two things to address. Maybe I don't want to know, but I would want to know where I should inquire where these drugs would come from.
And I will be fully transparent. It is from the same supplier as Ghazi.
And I would assume this supplier is not doing it of their good graces.
It is only about money, which leads me to another thought that I don't know, but all options. It is expensive to get this other powder. It would be even more expensive to outbid Ghazi on the red and take it away from him.
What kind of money are you talking about?
Well, we are talking.
Small sum.
We were talking.
What is money when the stake of a kingdom is at
1.3?
I thought it was 1.2.
1.2. It was 1.25.
That was just for the blue.
And
That
then
was
0.8 is our fee.
It was 1.25. It was 1.25.
Well, we gotta get to the dragons now,
mil
too.
for
the blue.
For the
You know the white.
500 doses, 5,000 doses
Of the white.
The white. Of course, we might not need that much. I was aiming at a threshold, but
I don't
if
think
it's
there's a return
1.25 for the white, I would only imagine it's double to stop the red. At the very least. I did not ask, but I can.
Do you realize for 1 million gold, the French somehow managed to find 1 million gold to put a 10,000-man army that was sitting idly by into the field again for a year? Put 10,000 men into the field for 1 million gold for a year. And you're talking about 1.25 million for 5,000 doses of how long does a dose last for?
6 hours.
6 hours?
Half a day.
Half a day for
Quarter of a day.
a part of one army. And it might be victorious. But if it's not,
If it's not, then all is lost anyway.
the other part of this discussion, I respect and follow the Empress's orders, as I respected and followed the Emperor's orders. And I will respect and follow the orders of the Empress's son when he is of age. And I mean no disrespect.
I will not take any.
But your agreement and, if you will, tasking that you accepted was to cut off the head of the snake, but to let us worry about the snake.
That is correct. And as I said, this is just an option that I wanted to present to you.
I will
You
look,
do not need to take.
and I do not know what the coffers have, and I suspect
Offer him land.
while we are wealthy,
give
the
us that.
tax revenue since in the past 7 years has greatly diminished as our borders have diminished.
That is fair.
Give him all of Greece.
We will discuss it. I will say to you that it's an incredibly hard sell.
I understand. I thank you for the audience. You are correct. Our task is the head. I wanted to present an option.
And I don't want to discounted. When the Empress wanted to hear your plan, she was hoping to hear how you planned to cut off the head. And all of this is marvelous information, and so we greatly appreciate it. Another perspective on things is always of value. When we're buried in it every single day, sometimes we fail to see what some others might see or what might be obvious to others. So we do thank you, but that might be a bridge too far.
Consider, and if it is a route you wish to take, timing will be an issue, of course. And other than that,
he says, this came for, I don't know how it got here. This scroll arrived, and it's addressed to one of the champions of the sun. It says on the side, it's written to an Edric of England.
Mm-hmm.
Will you see that it's delivered, please?
I will.
You'll have to excuse me.
Thank you for your audience. I don't think you laughed in my face.
It went better than I thought.
It was because you were here.
He still seemed pretty repulsed by the idea.
I would not have expected any less.
I think I saw like a little vomit in his mouth, like when you first said it.
It did not bring me joy to bring this to his attention.
I give him credit for swallowing it and not spitting it out, but
lives are at stake.
No, I agree. Which is why I tried to make the point that at some point the point comes.
What do you think this is? Hold it up to the light.
I don't know. I didn't know anybody knew Edric was anywhere.
That's true.
He's like on the lam. He's hiding.
We'll seek out Edric.
Should we melt the wax seal and read it ourselves?
Maybe. I mean, you could do it.
Are you all back in your room together?
Yeah.
Sure.
Eating and drinking.
You got mail.
If we're gonna die, might as well die.
Who knows I'm here?
That's what I was wondering. I blame this guy. He's been
Not
using
your wife and
stones to
children.
talk to people all over the world. He probably let loose the secret.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, what does it say?
We're like all leaning over his shoulder.
It's my wife's sister, my sister-in-law. My family has been imprisoned and they're going to be executed. It doesn't say where, but I would assume somewhere in England, most likely near London.
That's just not good. We are very far from London.
Who sent you that letter?
My sister-in-law.
How did you know she were here?
I don't know. She doesn't say. She just.
Is it dated?
Maybe it's a trap.
It's dated about a week ago. So I assume it got here by magical means. Otherwise, how would they know I'm even here? We only got here
Who even knows you
a
here?
couple of days ago.
Could it be a trap?
Knowing the enemies that I personally have, probably, but...
Could you find a way to communicate with them?
I think we need to go back to the bar.
More magical means.
But we've spent a lot of money.
No, not yet.
I haven't spent the dime yet.
The gentleman, I can't remember his name, I'm terrible with name, Nick of Peck, right?
Yeah.
Nicodeme.
I go try to find him. And what I do is like,
this poor guy.
I know, sorry for bothering you, and I know that this letter came through you to us. Is there a way that I could try to get a message rapidly to someone in England? Or myself, if possible?
Get yourself rapidly to England?
Yes. And I show him the scroll and the letters. My family is in dire straits. I need to go.
I suspect yes. Yes, I mean, we can work something out. Have you addressed whatever you need to do here?
Yes.
I don't think we can get you back.
That's fine.
Very well. Address whatever you need to do.
Okay. I write a very quick note on some parchment, and I say that after I am gone, give this to Kip. Please.
Very well.
Thank you.
Why don't we go to the bar first?
There goes our stealer.
You gather up your stuff.
No.
He escorts you to a chamber, and he says, "Good luck to you."
Sorry. That's me. Sorry.
Thank you.
On the floor, there's a circle. And you step onto it.
Mm-hmm.
And you very quickly disappear.
Georgie, go with him.
None of us are there. We're not even there.
Everybody having a good time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What do we not know? What do we not know?
What did we not know?
No, what do we not know?
He's moving on.
Moving on.
He's moving on without us.
So, guys, I got a job offer that I accepted in Maine, and I'm going to be moving within the next few weeks.
Fabulous.
So, knowing that the next session isn't going to be until after the New Year, I'm going to be fully in my job and in Maine by that point.
Good.
So,
Awesome, man.
Congratulations.
I won't be around, but I'll be watching.
Awesome. Happy. Hopefully, it's a good place.
Don't worry, I shall heal everyone.
Yeah.
Teach the Baron your way.
There may be a pile of bodies, but you will all be very healthy and lively.
Good for you, man.
The ranger becomes healer.
Another champion of the sun has set.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Fabrication. Same stuff that I was doing here.
Nice.
A little different,
Awesome.
different style. Not as stressful. Definitely, the stuff that they do isn't as overly complicated or as stringent of customers.
Awesome.
So,
Nice.
the tolerances I'm going to be working with are going to be miles in comparison to what I'm used to. So,
Also, Maine's gorgeous.
Good for you, man.
no, I'm kind of excited
Yeah,
to go
where
back
in
home.
Maine?
Yeah, man.
Going to be in the Greenfield area, so it's a little north of Bangor. So it's
Cold.
not quite northern Maine, but like what
So,
most people would consider central Maine.
30 to 40 inches of snow every year.
Cold.
You guys are gonna live in caves in the winter.
It's close to Sugarloaf. That's great skiing.
They
had a
it's
boring
actually
player up there.
it's about 3 hours away from Sugarloaf.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But my parents live in the Sugarloaf area. It's nice. Yeah.
Nice. So you're even moving
So-
closer back to family. That's great too, man.
But the note is relatively simple, by the way. It's you can trust the Baron.
Don't
Everything
worry.
will be all right.
Don't worry, it's surprise.
You can trust me.
What could go wrong?
Famous last word.
As
Get a
he
scroll.
as he
Insight
reads
check.
as he reads that note from Edric, you're just looking at him winking.
With half a broken
Famous-
fan.
No, it's specifically for Kip only.
What'd you do to him?
Do with that
What did you
information.
do to him?
It's written in Scottish. Or...
I can
Oh, yeah,
I
100%.
make
It's
him
in
offer. He
Gaelic.
cannot refuse.
It's in Gaelic. Nobody else would have understood it.
He did something to him.
James, did you have a good time?
Oh, it was very good. I mean,
What was your highlight?
It's no one specific thing. I mean, I find, the stones were very funny. You know, just one after another. But the whole thing was actually, I like, it's just all of it.
Rolodex. Stonedex.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pinpoint one thing, but all of it was very good. It seems like we accomplished nothing, but we accomplished something. You know what I mean? There was everybody in the chats were expecting this big fight today. But it didn't happen, but it was. But we accomplished.
He didn't expect.
I think we accomplished a lot
Yeah.
without actually like moving
We got a
anywhere
lot of
further.
groundwork set up.
Yes. I think that I think it was a very good session. I liked the role playing. It was fun.
4,000
Oh,
experience
ding.
points.
Nice.
That's a ding?
I needed 3,500.
Huzzah! Very cool. Brian, the Baron, did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time.
What was your highlight?
I kind of got a couple. Mark is my hero. Mark is my role-playing hero because not only did he have these great conversations, right? And he pulls this stuff out like, I don't know. I know he's got notes, but damn, dude.
Dude, they're falling apart.
But you know what? You know what? Beyond that, you know,
You
my
need those little circles.
Yeah,
my
whole sabers.
favorite part of it was that like Napoleon Mark kind of came out. Napoleon Mark was like, we can move troops this way, and move troops this way, and then we can flank them. And I was just like, who are
Just go
you?
kill Ghazi?
Like, Mark is a pacifist. Clearly, he's not. He like has thought about this stuff, and that was a lot of fun. Like, it was really cool, Mark. Thank you. Like,
Thanks.
I don't know where that came from. I was super shocked, but he seemed to have complete control over the battlefield. Whatever the battlefield looks like, Mark had control
Put
over
a
it.
mini map in front of him. And
He
good to go.
clearly saw it, right? At least he saw it enough to convince me that he knew what he was talking about. And then I had a great, I mean, knowing how it ended up, you know, I didn't know that you were not going to be here, obviously. So I'm glad that I got to do some last sort of role play with Nick, you know?
Very fitting for this scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
thought it was really
he'd be,
cool.
that great?
Yeah.
I believe he'd be greatly missed.
Yeah,
As a person and as a healer.
Gravely missed.
That was
Mostly as a
definitely
healer.
why I only told Tom is I didn't want there to be any role play moments that were going to come up because Edric was leaving.
Yeah.
Like I wanted it to be that way
Yeah,
because
organic.
In fairness, Tom and I talked a little bit about like a glorious death, like trying to like do something as a distraction so that way you guys could continue going on, or finding a reason to leave. Like whether it be a good reason to leave or a bad reason to leave,
wasn't me.
and that's how it was. Just so that way,
Glorious.
I definitely didn't want the entire session about Edric and like the role play behind it.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm glad we had that
I'm
moment.
really, really
So,
happy that happened.
That's cool.
That little button was getting hit in the back of the head there for me. It's like, there's no way you can know, but this just seems fitting.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Yeah. So,
Brian, 2,500 experience. It's interesting you pointed out about the Napoleon thing. That is very, very cool. That was very cool. Just a quick story. In 1985, I went to flight school, and I brought my Dungeons and Dragons figures with me to paint in my townhouse that I was in. And people would come over and they'd be, oh, that's so geeky. That's so geeky. Until my DM, Kathy Hadjo, still a great friend of mine, she sent me a map of where our party was involved in a battle and how did I want my troops, I had 30 troops, how did I want them to move? And I put that map up on the wall in our living room, and we were having a party and people said, what is this? And I explained it to them. They spent the whole night strategizing that geeky game that none of them wanted to participate in to come up with the perfect strategy on how they should.
Good story.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 6 years old at that time, but that's such a good story.
Wow. Don't turn your back on Mark tonight.
No,
Damn.
That's when he was born.
Ow, it hurt me too, Mark. What else you plotting?
That's a fun story, though. Seriously.
Yeah, it was. I remember that. It was so much fun. That was so much fun. Nick, I'm sorry, Reiner, did you have a good time?
I did.
What was your highlight, sir?
89.
Getting to see how everyone approached the very real issue that is coming up, that is having to face down a literal army in the near future.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I didn't really speak up more is because I wasn't really sure how to bring up what I didn't really have anything to say that anyone else didn't already say. And it was interesting to me to see how people approached it in different ways.
Okay. Very, very cool. Well, thank you for joining us. 2,000 experience points. I'm going to get back to it at the end there. Mark, did you have a good time?
Oh my god, yeah, it was so much fun.
What was your highlight?
You know, Brian kind of said it, but I really like playing around with the map. This map is just, I can't get enough of this map. This is phenomenal. And it just keeps getting better and better. And every time I look at it, there's something new on here that like I didn't see another time. But this little area right here was just like, I'm totally picturing like we're literally at a war table, and there's like the little army men. You're moving it with the little back scratchers, and it just trying to figure out, okay, here's where Jonas, they lost their battle there, they backtrack, right? If we can surround them from here to there, there's a regiment here, there's a regiment there. Like that was just so much fun. I don't know. I didn't plan any of that. It was just like, it's right here. But that was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And yeah, I mean, the dragons. It didn't work in Paris, but maybe this time we will have
more notice this time.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
I mean,
not like, hey, tomorrow.
Mostly flavor. if they can help us out, great. But just the idea of like, we're charging into the battle. Oh my God, there's an army. Go! Like just whatever. It's just having dragons fly, but that's amazing. And procuring some of this stuff from 6 or 7 years and being able to maybe pull it forward is for some epic kind of closing would be great.
I love that you take notes. I think that's awesome. It's not a sling at anyone else. I just love that you take notes.
They're pretty
it means a
terrible,
lot.
though, Tom.
Hey, man.
It means a lot.
Better than mine.
It means a lot.
I'll tell you that much.
It means you're a certain level of investment, and I do appreciate it.
I think if you went through here and saw like how I spelled some of your people's names, it would be probably pretty fun.
Yeah, that's
I'm not dealing with that.
They match his notes exactly.
That would be crazy.
The map is your story, guys. I didn't want a map of the world that is encyclopedic, that everybody knows where everything is right off the beginning, and here it is. It's.
I just imagine like
just
10 more years from now, or whatever, you've got this framed in your living room or something, and somebody's
I
asking
don't
you
think
about it.
Deb will allow that.
In the basement.
Somewhere,
I mean,
somewhere.
Not the living
And
room.
you have
Frame
people
right
over, and somebody again says like, "Hey,
Right over
what's
there.
this?"
The minis.
And you can reminisce about all this, and that's just so cool.
And also, it's taking you 6 years to fill that. Another 10 years, we can fill that too.
There you go. 2,000
Much too cold
experience
in
points.
Russia.
I'm sorry, how much? I'm sorry.
2,000.
Thank you.
Ryan, did you have a good time?
Of course.
What was your highlight?
I really liked the interaction with Balder and the Baron confronting him about being a vampire.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was fun.
So I had a lot of fun with that.
That was fun. Yeah, I forgot to get in here. That was fun. Oh, sorry. You owe me 2, by the way, for him. I think.
For me.
So,
you helped me
yeah.
pass along.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I had a lot of fun with that, going
Thank
back
you.
and forth on that I trust him because he's been with us, he's done right by us, but he's also acting like the enemy. So I liked it. I liked that part.
That was very cool. Good job. I mean, not good job. I hope that doesn't come across as patronizing. But good. Terrific stuff.
No, it was fun.
2,000 experience points. Jess, did you have a good time?
Absolutely.
What was your highlight?
I think I like how we've all been driving to get to this point, either as the same characters or as multiple characters through the time, and we're all kind of here and faced with the realization that now we have to like walk through an army to get to them, and we really don't have a good way to do that at all.
She's like, "What's your plan?" I was like,
we're just gonna walk up and knock on the door. I mean, that was kind of the plan.
Pizza delivery.
And of course, high pitched proof was
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious,
fantastic.
man.
Way to play into that.
Was absolutely fantastic. So that was great too.
And I love the way you leaned into the role play with going in with Kev. There's no way he's going to agree to this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But if you want me to tag along, I'll tag along. Awesome stuff.
I mean, I really, and on the side, like the adventure log, I know wasn't like anything that really pertained to what had happened last session, because I wasn't here. But
to
like
your character,
yeah,
that was good,
and that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
I like being able to like.
Well, I gave you the XP
Yeah.
for that, so thank you very much for doing that.
So
I do
stuff
appreciate it.
besides that, you know.
It's all good. It's always voluntary. 2,500 experience points. I had already given you the 2,000 for that AL, I believe. Nick, Did you have a good time?
Yes, sir, I did.
Not just tonight, but your time with us?
Yeah, well, it's been actually 2 years this week.
Holy crumb.
Yep. So I started off it was the week before Thanksgiving in the Crypts of Mines with Borinth was still here. It was like the first thing that I did as Edric was I came in, Madius was down, and then I think Zyman was down. And so I patched them up real quick, just like it kind of ingratiate myself first time around. And then stayed with the party for a little while, but then life took me in a somewhat different direction for a little bit. But then coming back for that one battle that a couple of battles here and there. The last time that we saw Borinth was also a pretty big highlight of my time here. I was there for that. And then making my return again during the battle with Ghazi, south of Paris, was kind of the start of this last stretch until leading up to this session.
You show up for all the good stuff.
Yeah, no, I always show up for good things. I've watched most of the streams that I wasn't here for here and there. I did miss a few weeks ago when I wasn't here, and I ended up couldn't watch that one. But I mean, again, only skipping one session here and there. But this whole thing has been a really good time. I've loved exploring Edric, and I wish that I could stay longer and explore him a little bit more. Because that character dynamic between him and the Baron from last session and even coming into this session, I'd love to be able to sit here and roleplay more with that, be able to do more with that. The teaching back and forth between the more mundane healer that Edric is versus the more, I guess, arcane style of healing that the Baron has, and their views on the world were definitely something that we kind of got into frequently, and it was very, very enjoyable. And then reminiscing about home with Kip was always a good time. Just talking about it, making sure that he was kind of okay. Like, I'm not saying that was an intention, or maybe that's how you guys feel, but it almost kind of felt to me every now and then that Edric became kind of like that anchor point for the group. Anytime that somebody was having issues or something like that, he kind of just was there, here and there. Now, Baron did it with Kip a lot too, but I don't know. It was just one of those things that every now and then it just felt like it was like the right place for Edric to be, just to be that anchor stone to, like, that was the perfect question that you asked. Like, what has Edric done? Like, there's no dark spot really on Edric's record throughout this entire thing. That, well, again, the only thing
He's
in
not
the
on
world,
any of the wanted posters.
No, I'm on no wanted posters. I haven't killed anybody that I wasn't in active combat with, and it's not something that I intended on doing the entire way. Like, even leading up to that, he's incapacitated. He's not an enemy anymore. Was just a natural progression. And I actually, over the past couple of weeks, I was sitting there thinking about it. It's like, I had that argument with the Baron, but have I been that good the entire time? And I had to go through and refine a lot of those streams that I was here for. And I, for some reason, somehow made it through with only killing enemies that I was actively defending myself against. People that I never attacked.
I mean,
first.
if you want, I
We're
could,
an accomplice.
I could credit you for helping us blow up the Black Tower.
No,
I can give you some credit.
There's definitely the
that died
fact
there.
that I'm supporting you guys is one of those things, but it's still.
I think he pushed Manius in that pit.
I was in the pit first. I was in the pit first. No, it's just
hear that.
It just definitely felt like
pushing pit.
Even amongst groups where you have people that do bad things, there's always still one person that tries to bring everybody back. That can be that core of, like, what is our purpose? Even though Edric wasn't the one trying to define what our purpose was, it was still that feeling of the anchor that's just there. There's always striving towards that one goal. It's not really being distracted much. So,
yeah.
Nick,
now we are afloat.
Yeah.
Thank you for gaming with us.
Thank you for having
me. It's been
me.
awesome.
Years ago, it was brand new.
It's been awesome. You will be your character will be missed. probably more than they realize, unless I rebalance things.
Well, you got like a month to do it.
And there you go.
Saren Ray comes down and heals her.
Probably more than you realize. But also you will be missed, man. You'll be missed. And I wish you the best. I genuinely wish you the best. Guys, this was fun. I thought that other things were going to happen as every DM does, but it was a lot of fun.
You know, just one thing I know, I've just noticed that this has to have been a good session. It flew by because we didn't even take a break.
Yeah.
Well, that was.
You know, I just realized I didn't even take a break.
When I started pulling out the stones, Tom was like,
I didn't want to break because I didn't want. That was. I thought about it a couple times, and then I was like, I better not. So, well, I just didn't know if you would get out of the city and get into combat. And I didn't want to, as I saw the time ticking by. So that was, rest assured, I did think about it. Hopefully everybody was okay with that.
When I pulled out another stone, Tom was like, God, I need my glass of wine now.
I haven't. Having watched my streams, I can tell when I've had a few too many glasses of wine, and so.
No wigs came out tonight.
Huh?
No wigs came out tonight.
No wigs.
That means
that has nothing to do with the alcohol. Rest assured, nothing to do with the alcohol. If I start putting lipstick on, then you know. Then you know I might have had a few.
Okay.
But wigs, that's no big deal.
That's common. That's Thursday night.
Exactly. Where I'm at work. You know. Guys, thank you very, very much. Guys, I had a great time. Thank you for watching Seven-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. Again, we'd like to thank Sirenscape for the use of the audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. See, I couldn't say all of those consonants and plosives after a few glasses of wine. Thank you, artist Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. Please patronize them by the @Yenu Draws on Instagram, @Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize Silky Noir on DeviantArt. Please comment in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. While we do this strictly for fun, please let us know how we might improve the stream. Lastly, please follow on Twitch and Instagram. Please like on Facebook and YouTube. And please subscribe on YouTube. We got a bit of a break coming up here. I think the next session is January. Am I wrong? January 6th? January 6th, I want to say.
Time to hibernate.
Because Thanksgiving doesn't really affect us.
The 19th, so the next one will be the 2nd.
The 2nd of
January.
2nd of January. So not the 6th. The 2nd of January. I will be out of town. Spätzle. Ich möchte viel Spätzle und beer. And so for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die and have a good night.
Play some Dungeons & Dragons!